We're all locked in now.
Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. It's time to kick off your afternoon drive with Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Allow me to introduce the best of the best.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Perks. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. I made this joke when Ben walked through the door today. And he was downstairs at the company barbecue. And I said, good news, Ben, you didn't miss anything. It's 0-0 in typical soccer fashion at the half between the English and Argentina. You didn't miss literally anything.
My wife and I are going to go see the Odyssey this weekend. And she realized this morning that she scheduled the tickets for during the final of the World Cup. And she asked me, do you want to reschedule? I thought, no. I mean, I've enjoyed the World Cup.
Well, you asked me the other day, has this made me more of a soccer fan? And
right.
The answer is no.
Yeah,
and
correct.
It's obviously the same for you.
I was excited to come in today and be like, oh, right, the game is on. And we had fun watching it yesterday. Spain, surprise, and stun France. That was cool. I've enjoyed it. It is not like my dental hygienist brother, shout out to her and her family, who took 2 weeks off to watch the World Cup. That's not how I'm going to operate my life while the World Cup is going on.
No.
Or your wife's cousin.
Yes,
who was getting
does.
up at 1 a.m. to watch every team, not just Iran, but also
every team. Yeah. When it was in Qatar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm not that.
So I'm excited to see the Odyssey.
You've got to let me know if it's scary. My 9-year-old is, I've told you, super into Greek mythology. Like,
apparently it's quite R-rated, which I did not know.
No, I know it's rated. So you got to tell me how scary it is, because she's seen the trailer or whatever come on and isn't so sure. She really wants to go because she knows the story and all this stuff, but not sure she wants to go to sleep after watching it.
Sure. Did you see Oppenheimer?
I'm in that stage. I have not yet.
Okay.
No.
And it's R-rated for some reasons. So.
No, I like Christopher Nolan. He's good.
Yeah.
We've probably done Nolan movies.
I don't know if we've drafted Nolan movies.
That's probably.
I honestly.
Oh, that's
does he
today.
Have 10?
I don't know if he has 10.
Oh,
he might only have 9.
But we could probably do something.
I mean, he has 3 Batmans alone.
He has 3 Batmans. He has Oppenheimer. He has the Odyssey, which I've not seen.
Well, maybe we should say, hold on.
Maybe, okay.
Maybe
let's do it. That's a great great tie-in. He does have. I think he has 10.
Okay, I'm happy to do it.
So yeah, you'll have to let me know.
Okay, I added a couple more things to my What You Got Wednesday list last night also.
So yeah, because I'm going to take her if it's not too bad, but if it's got some hairy parts in it, then that's not going to happen. Oh, and how long is it? I need to know that.
Probably long.
3 hours.
Yeah, knowing Chris Nolan, probably long.
Yeah.
He has 13 in his filmography.
Oh,
by
okay.
the way. So right there.
I wonder if I've seen them all. I must have.
Right now, I'm debating because Sadie turns 9 on Saturday. And so we're talking about movies because she gets to pick the movie night, movie on, and we're trying to decide if she can handle Lord of the Rings, because her friends have seen Lord of the Rings, and so we're trying to decide if she can handle that.
I would think so.
Orcs are kind of scary.
The orcs are pretty scary.
Orcs are a little scary,
especially in the first one.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what happens to Gandalf by the end of the story, it could be a little upsetting early.
And the trolls are kind of scary. Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's totally fair.
We're working on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you know those things. But Christian's going to show Dalton horror films. He already has.
Oh, I watched The Shining with my son when he was like 2 years old. It's just like, if Dad ever goes nuts, you've got to take things into your own hands.
My cousin babysat me when I was like 4 or 5. And he didn't know what to do. He was like 10 years older than me. He was in high school at the time. He put on Chucky. And that scared me. That scarred me.
Which is funny because it's actually a comedy. Now that you look at it, you're like, oh, that is a funny movie.
For a 5-year-old.
But a 5-year-old who thinks all the dolls are going to come to life and come and get him, weren't aware of the kind of meta nature of the comedy. Sure.
Listen, and I don't know. I have girls. So you can tell me because you have one of each. But I feel like boys are a little different when it comes to scary/violent movies.
I never watched a horror movie in my house growing up.
So I don't know.
No,
maybe-
my parents were not into it. We didn't watch it. That was not how I was introduced to it.
See,
was
now
much older.
Naz and I aren't into it either.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And now it's maybe my favorite genre. So
Speaking of, I was talking. We were talking to Maddie. Maddie's in the office today, and I was talking to. Let me get your take on this, because, frankly, what are we going to do? Give play-by-play to Argentina and England? You want to go dive back into Vegas Summer League?
So there might be a little news tonight, but yeah.
Okay, so Maddie was talking about she's now taking her little one to ballet, and so hanging out with the moms at ballet. And she said, in kind of a, not a complaining way, but she's kind of like, oh, and then I have to talk to all the moms. And I told her, I stopped her and I said, you know what? The sexism of those moms is just awful.
Explain.
I take my kids to a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, there's plenty of dads that take their kids to stuff too. But oftentimes, and Maggie did dance last year. It's the moms.
Right.
Like she did a climbing class. For the most part, it's the moms going. The moms, I would love nothing more to talk to the moms. I'm sitting over there by myself looking like an idiot, wishing one of the moms would talk to me.
Come talk to you, yeah.
I have to bury my face in my phone. I'd love nothing more than to sidle over and be part of the mom talk. I'm never included.
Okay.
Never asked ever.
And
I just have to stand there and look stupid.
And probably rightfully so because of the number of creeps on the planet, but it's kind of not appropriate for you to make the first move.
Yeah, I'm not there to make anybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But even, and they're not being mean, but even moms I know, will somehow have a conversation amongst themselves. Come on! Hey! Anyone? Dad here looking for a little, I don't know.
Conversation
Little
starter.
conversation.
Yeah.
How's your summer going? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I have to know. Let me see what the latest from Ben Anderson is on Twitter.
Wow, yahoo.com.
Oh,
Interesting
hey.
news.
Bye, I'm having a great time. So anyway, that's where that devolved. Am I wrong for being?
I'm pretty shy in public. I'm actually very shy. I'm a very shy person. Not that if somebody sees me and wants to say hi, to not do it, please do it. And it's very nice of you to do. But I'm a pretty shy person. And there are times I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to keep my head down and not have anybody, not that I don't want to talk to people, but
We all have those moments.
everyone has those moments.
I have those moments at the grocery store, and that's gotten me in trouble before.
That's the most awkward place because then you're going to run into them again. I was at the Children's Museum over at Gateway one time, and it was very clear I was early in my run as a single father. This was probably 7 years ago now. Maybe not quite that long ago. Whatever. My kids were 5 and 3 or 6 and 4 at the time. And I must have stood out because all the other single dads at the time that morning wanted to come over and have a chat about being a single parent.
Have a heart-to-heart.
I don't know if that's what I want to do. I'm actually kind of just here so the kids can climb under the car and pretend they're mechanics and go to the little fake grocery store. We're all going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But everyone wanted to come up and think this was therapy time. And that's not what I was there for.
Well, I told you the story on Monday about my buddy Dan, who had to keep wrangling the 2-year-old at the birthday party and really wanted to watch
Stewie?
the Stewie at they really wanted to watch the soccer game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm amending that story to say the moms force us to do it.
Yes.
If they would be more inclusive, we wouldn't go seek out the television to watch the soccer game.
I think you have a point.
So I'm going to blame the moms. No
Sure.
offense to the moms
When
out
in
there.
doubt. Blame mom.
No, not when in doubt.
Oh.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Christian, who do you blame more? Your mom or your dad?
4?
Just whatever.
Probably.
Yeah,
All
careful.
Stuff.
Everything
Careful
you've
there.
got going on.
Yeah.
Easy.
Who does your wife blame more, your mom or your dad?
She blames my mom.
Christian's got to think about who's listening before he answers that
Yeah,
question.
it's a good idea.
Yeah, he's got to think like, who is most likely to hear this right now?
It's funny. They don't know what I do during the week. They listen to the Saturday show. Bless their hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
they
great.
don't miss a Saturday. They still have no idea what I do during the week, and
So
I've
you're
told them
on the
several
radio?
times.
Yeah.
Kinda. I push buttons.
Yeah. But your name's not on the show. Thank you.
Wow, they're considering using that picture for the website. I like it. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
Should I
good?
say yes?
Sure. Why not? Or is that a thing? Did I miss an email?
You take new pictures?
No, somebody's making fun of me, I think.
Oh, okay. We had somebody, I think did you tell me this? Maybe my wife told us this. They were looking at the YouTube comments during one of our live streams, and they said, why do the photos of these guys that they have during the commercial breaks, the ad breaks, they're like, why do they have just uglier photos of the guys for their headshots during the ad breaks? And I thought, I think that's a nice thing to say.
He said you guys looked way better in real life than the pictures that are
which,
on the cover.
We got those taken before. I think we'd done our first show together, like maybe a few weeks after. And yeah, I'm not sure we'd quite figured out what our vibe was going to be. So I'd be up for upgrading those.
Listen, I have had the opportunity in my career to take a number of promotional photos in general, but promotional photos for websites or like sales materials or et cetera. I have not once
been happy.
Well, I don't care. My happiness,
Sure, okay.
thus I don't complain about it.
You're not that vain. That's a strength of yours.
Honestly, don't care. But I have not once taken a good one.
Okay.
I don't know about selected. I mean, I guess I could blame. I'm assuming that the people are picking the best one and that they're just all bad and I can't do it.
Okay.
So that's all right. I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't take a good picture.
Would you trust your wife to pick out a good photo of you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But
That's a nice skill.
But I don't know. I don't know what it is about the lighting or the pressure of the moment, or if just I don't know. Can't do it. Never done it. Never works. Never looks good. Fine.
I can't figure out what the problem is, but I never look good in photos. Might be you.
It is me. Yes, that is the entire point of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is yes, it absolutely is me.
Can't be every photographer.
No.
Yeah. Well, I
That
think
could be
that's
every person who's picking out my promotional photo.
very mature of you.
Who just scored?
England
The Three Lions?
took a 1-0 over Argentina on a beaut.
Don't worry, the refs will get
Yeah, VAR is going to be in there. There's no chance this is going to count.
the refs will they'll get Argentina right back in it. Argentina's
Okay.
going to
Yeah,
have
you're right.
Argentina's going to have a penalty kick in
Yeah,
like
England's
4
playing
minutes.
down 3 players.
It very clearly is rigged for Argentina because do you know where the final is being played?
Argentina?
It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey. And they're playing in Atlanta right now, which is the Eastern time zone. You know where Spain played yesterday?
Dallas.
Which is not Eastern time zone. It's very clearly rigged for Messi to win his final World Cup on his way out.
Because of the time zone?
Well, that's just one example, the time zone. But like the Egypt game, the comeback, you think they really came back, scored 2 goals in the final 10 minutes?
You just think they're trying to get that viewership in
I
Argentina.
think FIFA's so corrupt. You guys are well aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Messi's the moneymaker, so they want Messi all the way. All right.
Well, 1-0, 56th minute. England up.
So what's his name? Harold Kane? He's going to pick up a red card probably in the next couple of minutes.
Yep.
They're going to have to play down a man, and Messi's going to win.
I'm excited to watch. It's going to be another great comeback for Argentina.
It is. It's going to be something really special. All right, so there you go. There has been a goal. There's my allegation of sexism against the moms out there. Hey, include the dad at whatever who's just hanging out.
So I had to do the inverse of this, of which I went out with a bunch of the writers. Well, I went over to one of the writers' houses. No longer a writer, and I was hanging out there. And as I was leaving, my wife said, "Did you notice not a single person at this party talked to me?" We were there for like 90 minutes. And other than me, nobody else of the writers, and at the time it was all men, it was pre-Sarah Todd, nobody else spoke to her. And since that she said that to me, I've tried to make a point to include, talk, find the women, have conversations. In fact, the first time I think you and I ever hung out, I spent the entire night talking to your wife.
Yeah.
Literally for that exact reason, for that complaint.
My wife usually does not leave much unsaid.
She's a great talker.
She is
but
a good
she's
talker.
incredibly intelligent, so she's enjoyable to talk to.
No, it's really one of her strengths. She's a really good networker. She
Yeah.
knows a lot of people, so it's because speak up.
Yeah.
So I can't relate. Actually, one thing I always liked about her is that I could take her to a big group of whoever and she could entertain herself for the whole time. I never had to be worried. Not that Angie is this, but I never had to worry like, is she having a good time?
Mm-hmm.
Is everything going okay? It's like look across the room. It's
Yes.
like, oh yeah, she's doing fine.
Doesn't need to be taken care of.
Nope.
No. A real strength.
Anyway, good times. All right. Well, we'll talk less soccer next. We'll
Not done. Maybe it'll be tight.
Into the
Maybe
top.
Argentina will be leading when we come back.
I heard some stat, and I'm not a soccer person, but I heard some stat that it took Argentina 22 fouls to get to their first yellow or to get their first yellow, and it took England like 7 in this tournament or something like that.
Like that?
Thank you.
Sorry, got surprised with the baby picture.
Well, you're working. I mean,
Well, yeah.
only we can
Put it on
talk.
hold.
Only we can talk about our kids at work, Christian. You're not allowed to.
For the
I'm
first 20
sorry.
minutes of the show.
Yeah, stop it. How dare you? All right. We'll get into sports coming up next. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Okay, this is really funny. Andrew on the Talk Snap sent in a graphic, Ben, and it's my promotional picture on, I don't know, a fella sitting casually with a martini, and it says the real house husbands of Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah, I I really like it. I could do that. I absolutely could do
You look
that.
good in pink. I mean, honestly, like that's a good color. You could pull off that jacket.
I absolutely could. I wish I had it. And then up at the top it says shop, cook, clean, judge the neighbors, repeat.
Who else is in this photo?
I don't know.
Bunch of good-looking dudes. I think that might be Andrew Tate.
That's what I said too.
Is that Andrew Tate over your shoulder?
I don't even know who that is.
I think it's just a bunch of AI generated dudes, but one of
But
them
clearly one is
does-
inspired
yes,
by Andrew Tate.
Very clear Andrew Tate inspiration.
Human trafficker / kickboxer.
Oh, well, / the real house husband of Salt Lake City. Okay, well, I'd do it. I'd do a Bravo show. Would you sign up for it? I don't think I'd be crazy enough to really draw an
Again, I
audience.
cannot believe you haven't watched Below Deck yet.
No.
It's Bravo garbage, but it's just so right up your alley. You would love it.
How far are you through Housewives now?
We paused. We started Love Island, and it's all encompassing. So, but we just wrapped up Love Island, so now I need to get back to something new.
Who's your favorite character so far?
On Housewives?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like anybody yet, and I can't tell if that's the design.
Oh, yeah.
Am I hate watching, or do I actually start polling for Jen or somebody else?
Well, that's the thing is you start not liking them so much you actually
Correct.
like them.
Right.
You're like, yeah. Yeah, I told you I was starstruck in the elevator when I saw Lisa Barlow. All right. Do we have to get to the top 3 stories? Is that
We can
somewhere?
just go to break if you want.
No, that's all
Oh,
right.
okay.
No, that's cool.
All right.
All right. Top 3 stories of the day. KSLSports.com is brought to you by our friends at J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1. It's the penultimate Summer League game for the Jazz. Cody Williams, Ace Bailey are out tonight versus San Antonio. Darryn Peterson not on the injury report.
But based on the conversations I've had, I did not get anybody telling me that expect him to play. Now, that doesn't mean don't expect him to play.
Oh, so we could see a DNP, coach's decision.
Correct. As it was pressed a little bit, the answer was Darryn Peterson is available. So available and playing doesn't mean the same thing. So I don't know what to make. I don't know if he's going to play or not.
I agree with your take yesterday. I think he should play as much as possible. I think young players benefit from these types of circumstances. I think honestly, I think the criticism Cody Williams has been getting is somewhat unfair given that they are asking him to get out of his comfort zone and do some things that aren't necessarily easy for him. He needs more of that. You know what I mean? Cody Williams should be playing tonight. Now, I'm sure his agent would disagree. I'm sure Cody himself would disagree. But, yeah, he needs to go. That's what Summer League is for. We shouldn't clown these guys for struggling because, and I've said this a million times, Ben, we shouldn't clown these guys for struggling because we have no idea what they're asking them to do. Because Summer League, the point is not to win. The point is not to
No, in fact, the point may be to struggle.
Exactly 100%.
Let's go figure out what's not working and give you an opportunity to work it out, because it's really hard to do in Game 4 against Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers, but against Kingston Flemings and the Atlanta Hawks, it doesn't really matter that much. So go out there and make some mistakes.
But if you don't get better at some of this stuff, then you're not going to be in the league anymore.
Correct.
So, again, I get why his agent would want him out of there, but if I'm the team, I want him to play every minute possible. And that goes for Ace Bailey, and that goes for Darryn Peterson as well. But life is more complicated than that. Other opinions matter other than I'm sure the coaches want to see every minute they can, you know? So I hope that Darryn Peterson plays because it'd be fun to watch him play another game. And frankly, I think all these guys need it.
It is. We have, and this is bad narrative work from media members, fans, social media in general. I don't think it's any one person's fault. But yes, as we mentioned yesterday, people love to be crowned too good for Summer League.
Yeah.
Or, wow, you're struggling in Summer League, you're a bum, you shouldn't be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, there's no middle ground?
Well, it's all silly because we don't know what we're watching.
Correct.
We don't know what they're being asked to do. We have no idea what exactly. Listen, if you watch, I don't know, certainly a playoff game, but most regular season games, they're trying to win. They're doing the goal in mind is the strategy or the rotation or the performance or whatever. It's measured against the goal of trying to win. So even buffoons like you and I can say, well, that was a bad idea when it comes to accomplishing your goal, which is trying to win. In Summer League or the G League, we talked to JP about this a little bit. That is not the case.
No.
They are not trying to win. They are trying to accomplish something, some X on a development chart, and we don't know what that is.
Nor should you have a whole lot of faith that what you're watching, you know what is going wrong when something goes wrong. And that's not a criticism of you as a fan or as a viewer or maybe somebody who played basketball at some point in your life. But if you go back and you watch AJ Dybantsa take Cody Williams off the dribble and get to the rim and dunk, you might say, wow, Cody, you just gave up a straight line drive. And the truth is, somebody may have supposed to come over from the corner to help. Like, the other guys on the floor around Cody or Darryn Peterson or Ace Bailey or whoever might be making so many mistakes that will make the guy on the ball or whoever look bad, that if you're trying to draw something from that, you might be criticizing the wrong thing. You may blame a quarterback for throwing an interception, but if the receiver ran the wrong route, it's not really on the quarterback, and that might be happening with 3 or 4 players at the same time on the court at all times in Summer League.
I've got the ultimate example of what you're talking about. Do you remember who dunked on LeBron James in his first Summer League?
Our main man, Britton Johnson.
My guy, Britton Johnson. Shout out to Britt. It still lives on in YouTube infamy. It's the one of the times LeBron's been dunked on that has not been entirely scrubbed. Britton Johnson dunked on LeBron James. Now, quite the Summer League feat. But their career trajectory, no offense to my guy Britton, but was way different. This Summer League moment did not mean Britton was going to be the best player in the league, nor did it mean that LeBron James might as well just stop playing. Now, let me ask you an additional question, Ben. Do you think LeBron James got better because he got dunked on by Britton Johnson?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
Even the king, the great LeBron James, had to learn a lesson because, you know what? Getting dunked on in Summer League, getting dunked on anytime is not where he wants to be in life.
Correct.
I bet he absolutely learned a lesson from that. So can you go out and struggle? Beat by a player, guard, a Cody Williams case, guarding AJ Dybantsa, guarding a bigger player. Listen, if Cody Williams is going to make it in the NBA, he has to guard big. Yes. He's not skilled enough to make himself valuable enough unless he is an absolute all-out defensive juggernaut, and that means guarding guys that are 6'10". He's going to have to figure out how to do that at some point if he's going to make it in the NBA. So you go get beat by AJ Dybantsa a couple times. Well, he probably learned a couple lessons, I'm guessing. And then if you figure out how to do that, all of a sudden Summer League was worth it, even if a bunch of bozos back in Salt Lake are clowning you for not living up to some expectation.
Kai Jones, who a lot of people will never remember, don't know where he ever played in the G League, don't know where he played in the Summer League, don't know who he got drafted by, which is totally fine. It doesn't matter. Has one of the great dunks in NBA history in Summer League over Victor Wembanyama. I think it was Wemby's first game ever, and Kai Jones absolutely baptized him. I mean, it was unreal what the dunk was. Who's a better player?
I've never heard of that guy.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Wemby, he's doing okay.
Probably learned a lesson.
Wemby's done okay.
Yeah.
Correct. But you got to recognize, if I'm not careful, Kai Jones will kill me. So I really got to be on my toes here. That was a good lesson to learn at Summer League.
You know, Britton got a chance to talk to LeBron about that.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Because Britton used to find himself in the most interesting situations. But he got hired to block a commercial that LeBron James was in.
Uh-huh.
And LeBron filmed the commercial while he was here. It was for I'm guessing a tech company in Utah County. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was Britton's job to block the commercial, to do all the
They get all the
movements
lighting and everything.
or to
where the camera needs to be, etc.
Where the players need to go and all that sort of stuff. So he got a chance briefly to talk to LeBron and say, hey, you might not remember this, but I got a dunk on you. It's early. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what LeBron said in response, according to Britton, but it was something like, yep, I do remember. He did recall that situation happening. So kind of funny. Shout out to Britton. All right, what's next?
Number 2, this was announced this morning. The Utah Mammoth are going to open their season at the Chicago Blackhawks on October 1st. The full schedule will be revealed tomorrow.
Other news, 84 games this year. They've added 2 more regular season games to the schedule for the NHL.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, finally.
I didn't even know we were clamoring for 2 more games.
I didn't know that either, but they have added 84 games to the 2026-2027 schedule.
What are they trying to accomplish other than 1 more home game?
The expansion adds 2 more divisional games to each. No, it's 1 home game each.
Oh, okay.
They go from 82 to 84, so
it's
an extra road, extra home. The expansion adds 2 more divisional games to each team's schedule while simultaneously reducing the preseason from 6 down to 4. The same thing the
now
NHL
we're talking.
Or the NFL.
Let's go.
Okay, all right.
Less preseason is always good.
All those sort of minor changes do is throw off stats.
Correct.
Now we're going to have a bunch of people moonwalking about the most goals scored in a season. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Well, they added 2 games.
Yeah, they added 2 games. Everyone has more time to do it.
We've gone through this in the NFL now since they moved from crept up to 16 to 17, and now they want to go to 18 or whatever. You see the headline inevitably like, oh, just passed Emmitt Smith. Can you believe it?
5,000 passing yards.
Well, yeah, they got
playing more games.
Got an extra game, dude.
15% more games are being played every year.
Yeah,
numbers
I can believe
went up
it.
accordingly.
Anyway, anything to note of playing at Chicago? I mean, who?
Here against Chicago, host Chicago, right?
No, Christian said
it's
it
at
was
Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Oh, I thought they announced the home games for every team also. Did we get the Mammoth home game?
I was listening to you, Christian.
Read Cole Bagley at KSL Sports.
I thought I did this morning, but I have had some trouble interpreting some of what I've been.
You know what? It's my fault.
Oh,
I
way
misread.
to go, Christian.
Cole's headline literally says Utah Mammoth to host Chicago Blackhawks
That's
in
rough.
26-27.
Wow.
I am so sorry, guys.
Man, getting pictures of your kid during the show and then messing up a headline.
Yeah.
Well, apologies, Ben. What are you going to ask for Christian as an apology?
Go get me a brisket sandwich. Got 20 more minutes. Give me a second. Jake needs one too. I do. Here's what I liked. Chicago, though, maybe because Bedard, and you said Bedard is out, right? Hasn't quite lived up to becoming the next Connor McDavid or He hasn't become Gretzky, and Macklin Celebrini now has become kind of the future face of the league. It looks like he's going to be the face versus Bedard, who everyone thought. It is fun that Chicago is like one of the cooler young rosters in the NHL, and they have consistently found themselves playing against the Mammoth in some high-profile games, including the first ever Utah Hockey Club home game, right? I think was against Chicago. I think the first ever Mammoth game was against Chicago. So I like that that's a bit of a matchup that they have decided that these two teams are worth, facing off against one another.
Was Chicago a first four?
Original six?
Or is that what it is, original six?
I think so.
Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Boston, New York, and Montreal. That sounds right. Yeah, all right. Well, I look forward to the season. I think last year watching the Mammoth go to the playoffs, feeling the vibe of playoff hockey over there, I'm pretty eager to see what they do next.
Likewise.
Had a pretty interesting offseason so far. Certainly made some moves that should at least make a difference, make the team a little different to see if they can get to the next level.
Brought back Barrett Hayton, Anders Lee, and Trocheck coming in. We'll see.
Good on that face-off, that Trocheck.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And he's tough.
That's kind of they had to play Stenlund. Every puck drop, essentially, especially in overtime when possession was so critical, and then you had to get him off the ice as quickly as possible, or if you were in a PK. And now Trocheck ideally can do that. So,
is there anything tougher than a tough small guy?
Tough big guy?
I don't know. Like is a tough big guy tougher than Casino Joe Pesci? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Napoleon complex in addition to the actual toughness.
You read about
like a multiplier.
These gangsters of history, and like half of them are 5'2".
Yeah. Not a lot of famous 6'6" assassins.
Right. Yeah, you read into their lore, and it's like he once pulled a man's arm off and beat him to death.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Is there tougher? Is a tough smaller guy tougher than a tough big guy?
You have to develop some type of toughness as a smaller person. Inherently, naturally.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'd listen. There's something there. You're working with something.
All right. What's next?
Number 3, will LeBron make a LeDecision?
No. Now the latest rumor is LeBron has moved away from Golden State. That, I continue to laugh about how this is being played off as LeBron's decision.
Yes, it might not be a decision in the first place.
No. It might be who wants me.
What do you think is driving the decision? LeDecision.
I think it's Cleveland trying to talk themselves into doing it.
I had this conversation with my wife last night. She's a huge basketball fan also, and we were kind of figuring out, what's the motivation here? Is it the best Netflix documentary? Is it where LeBron can avoid the most blame when inevitably he doesn't close out with the title because they're probably not winning a title next year wherever he goes? Is it where he's making the most money? Is it the cutest story? He's cute. He's corny. He's always been a cornball his whole life. Is it? So if that's the case, probably going back to Cleveland is the cutest answer. And also it kind of lets him off the hook because I don't think even with LeBron, Cleveland's expected to win a title next year. There might be more pressure to win in Miami. He can't go join a true front runner now like the Knicks because if they lose and he joins the team, everyone's going to blame him for not winning.
Do you think that Giannis would want LeBron on the team?
Good question.
My guess would be no.
Yeah.
He's already competing with another, all-star for kind of headlines there. I don't know if he wants to bring in the circus because it's kind of about him.
Is there anyone other than Spo and Pat Riley on that Miami team from LeBron's run? I mean, that's forever ago at this
Haslam's
point.
long gone.
Haslam's gone. James Jones obviously not there. I mean, that's 3 stops now back for LeBron.
Uh-huh.
Cleveland, L.A., and now whatever his next one is.
Yeah.
So
I don't think so.
yeah, I don't think there's anyone there other than the coach and the front office.
I don't think Pat Riley was that enamored with LeBron when he buffaloed him and left it.
And I don't know if he has
Cleveland.
a great relationship with Giannis or Bam. So yeah, there just may not be enough ties there. Dwayne Wade's not a part of the ownership group there.
So I honestly think we're waiting because LeBron's trying to see if there's anything better for him than a vet minimum deal in Cleveland. And I don't think there is. I just don't. I don't think that suitor really exists. Because I don't. Honestly, if Miami really wanted him, and wouldn't he be signed somewhere by now? If Golden State really wanted him, he would be somewhere by now.
As we have said, if somebody had wanted to carve off $35+ million for LeBron, he would have already signed there. If somebody wanted to reserve their cap space for LeBron, they would have.
Yeah.
People clearly don't think he's worth that. So there's some vet minimums, or there's some, parts, or maybe a full even mid-level exception out there still, but no one saved a max slot for LeBron James. Which is telling. Money talks.
Yeah, and you got to have the value there too. And then the circus just isn't worth it.
Correct.
You could be filming everything for a movie that, if this doesn't go well, could be a huge
Because if this was
could be a
LeBron
huge
6 years
liability for
ago,
us.
where just based on the fact that he's on your roster, your team's probably going to the finals, everyone's lining up to get him. Clearing space, making trades, trying to cut salary, whatever you have to do to get him. And now it does seem like it's, if it's convenience, if we can fit it into our schedule.
And I don't think Donovan Mitchell has the leverage to say no. I bet you Giannis has the leverage to say no.
He's got to be there for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So Giannis can say, I don't know, is that worth it? No. Can we spend that money better elsewhere? Probably. He does cherry pick well, though. He's very good at that. Still has that NBA skill.
Yeah.
LeBron does. So if you need a cherry picker, he's your guy.
Pick LeBron.
I mean, it was a role I was strong at.
That's the best role.
In playing pickup ball.
No defense?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can trot down the court in front of everybody else and receive a pass. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm your man.
Uncontested layup?
Pretty good.
I think I might.
So I'm still saying he ends up vet minimum deal in Cleveland because it's the only team that wants him.
You have been the whisperer longer on this show than I have. You have done a better job predicting what's next for LeBron than I have. And you were saying where you're going to end up, I think, being wrong, with all due respect, is you thought maybe Jared Allen for LeBron in a trade. Cleveland has realized we probably don't need to trade Jared Allen.
No.
We can probably just get LeBron on a Cleveland vet minimum, which used to be a pejorative in the NBA.
Yeah, no, I was wrong about that.
Yeah. But I think you're right. He's going to end up in Cleveland. That's what I'm waiting for. Speaking of which, look at our guy.
Oh, Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis is at this game.
Well, L.A., here's what I was wrong, is L.A. wanted Walker Kessler more than they would want a player like Jared Allen. Mm-hmm. They obviously wanted Walker Kessler.
Luka definitely wanted Walker Kessler.
And you hear, people that cover the team out there say, well, they've had their eyes on Walker Kessler for a while now. That's probably true. They wanted Walker Kessler. They could have messed around with Jalen Duren, too, and they didn't do any of that stuff. They went for Walker Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably liked him better than Jared Allen. Cleveland might have considered that sign and trade with LeBron.
They might have.
Mm-hmm. All right. More Jake and Ben coming up next. Stay tuned. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're teaming up with Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday to this show. Jake and Ben, for the winner is the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. We did have a goal right as we were going to break.
What was it?
Argentina has equalized it, as they say. It's now 1-1 with England.
We're in the 91st minute. 9 minutes of added time.
I was really disappointed with the Argentinian celebration. It was
Agreed.
It was not good. And it got me to thinking, and I don't know if people want to weigh in on the voicemail, KSL Sports app, and then hit the voicemail feature, and you can send a message to the show. What would your World Cup celebration be? Like, this dude just scored a goal in the semifinals. Like, you got to have something
He
good.
did monkey ears.
You got to have something good ready to go. You know what I mean?
Do you have a favorite?
Dude, I always liked, at parties where you do the fake lasso and then the bring it on in. I feel like
probably why the women at the ballet don't talk to you.
I feel like that.
Children's ballet.
By the way, we could talk about these funny graphics that people are sending me.
We are getting a lot.
Yeah, we are. They are funny. But another one. Argentina. What do you know?
Same guy.
I don't know.
Well, as we said, this is Rogue. Different guy.
He's just hugging everybody. That's better than what the other dude did.
I like the figure 8 at the little corner post. They kind of run around it twice. I like that. That's my move.
What about really rubbing it into the goalie? Do they frown on that?
They do, but one of my favorite also is after you score, you go and you just kick the ball again. You launch it into the back of the net as hard as you can kick it. The second kick, just to reinforce that you just beat the goalie.
What if you picked it up and threw it at the goalie?
Oh, that was great. That was off. So let's see. It goes off the post, off the far post, bounces out outside the box on the right side on a crazy angle to a header. Wow, England, pathetic.
Looking at their destroyed fans is pretty something. It was a pass from Lionel. Hey, again, we're going to have that bit going into the weekend.
We keep it forever.
There he is, Lionel.
We're in the 93rd minute. +9 is what they're staying with injury time. So this could be over here shortly.
Tough for the English.
Yeah, the English have only won this thing once. If it's their sport, isn't that pretty ridiculous?
If you started it, should you be the best at it?
Or at least consistently.
It's like we're gonna crush American football for so long.
Well, the rest of the world hates that sport.
It's gonna take a long time to catch up.
Basketball, though, I mean, we can see the world catching up in basketball, but not. I mean, even if the rest of the world caught up, we'd still rattle off some golds every once in a while. You know what I mean?
We're still winning 4 out of 5 goals.
Oh, I think we're winning 5 out of 5 still. So
I still owe you a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have. But England invents the sport, spreads it across the planet. They won 1 World Cup.
That's a little pathetic.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it was, 1966 or something? It's not even recent.
They shouldn't have shared it.
Just kept it for themselves?
Just keep it for themselves.
Like we keep American football?
And we're not good at Aussie rules football. I don't know the rules. I've tried to watch it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they've held on to it very tightly, and they're not letting us get good at it. And as a result, they're going to win every tournament.
Aussie rules football? Are we trying to get good at it?
Someone probably is. Someone who's bad at American football is probably, yeah.
I didn't even know we had a team.
Somebody somewhere is playing.
A club here in Cleveland?
Yeah.
I didn't even know we had a team. I didn't know we had an Aussie rules football team.
I don't know if we do either.
See, that's something that Christian's generation missed out on. I'm telling you. You're watching ESPN and they air whatever they could possibly air, and you're stuck watching it. How much time did you waste watching Australian rules football as a kid because it was on ESPN and that was it? And you're like, well, I guess this is something.
It's why
go Melbourne.
We were talking about this 2 weeks ago. Must have been the stranglehold that the World Series of Poker had on the world for, 18 months, 24 months? Maybe it was even longer than that. But it was the first time ESPN had started to branch out away from just like some of the least sensical sports on the planet. And they had like 2 pretty good announcers. So everyone was like, okay, we'll just watch World Series of Poker. It's new and it's better than Aussie rules football or whatever else they were showing at the time.
Oh, man, the strongman competition over and over again. Just some rhinoceros of a man.
A guy carrying a big boulder, putting it on top of putting it on a loading dock. It's like, wow. Well, there's nothing else on.
I'm going to watch it.
Don't have Netflix now.
You know, that Siberian there is supposed to be
Igor.
He's supposed to be
strong as hell.
Real favorite in this whole thing. I'm going to lock in for the next hour and a half, and find out how this turns out. Now Christian can just watch whatever he wants. At some point, you should be forced to watch something mundane just because it's better than the infomercial and the channel that goes to nothing but 900 number ads.
Christian, what was the big infomercial of your childhood?
What was it called? The the slap chop?
Slap chop?
Yeah. Ooh, I want one of those.
Well, they didn't work. So.
Really?
Did you have a favorite infomercial?
No, I didn't watch infomercials. Okay. In fact, that's why I got stuck with the Australian rules football because I refused to watch
the Ron Popeil food dehydrator
because I wanted nothing to do with that. I've only bought something from the as seen on TV section once.
Okay.
And it was the stupid crinkle
the slinky
hose.
Yeah. How did it work?
It didn't. What do you mean, how did it work? I mean, you
That's
know
why I'm
what?
telling Christian to avoid this lap job.
You know what they do?
At all
Like,
costs.
here's why I don't do it. Because the television commercial is specifically designed for lazy people like me, who it's way too much effort to coil a hose. They're like, we're going to go for the world's laziest person because I know what that person is doing right now, watching TV. And lo and behold, I see the commercial. And I'm like, oh, I hate winding up the hose. I'm going to buy this. It just crinkles right up, and that's it. Huge mistake.
And then you get it. It doesn't do anything.
Just a piece of
Just
garbage.
leaks.
I think it broke.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Lesson learned, I guess.
Yep.
Why does that person not have a shirt on?
Celebrating.
Soccer fans are weird.
Oh, the emotions inside this stadium in Atlanta have flipped so violently, where the English were just...
Hey! This is soccer. Let's not
Kept
talk
dancing.
about. Let's not talk about violence. Let's pick a different word.
Okay. These hooligans have seen their enjoyment flip entirely.
I mean, to my knowledge, and everybody hates referees, right? But the only story I've ever read about a referee being quartered, that was a soccer referee.
Correct. Yeah.
And that ref wasn't reffing hockey. Football gets a violent reputation. I've never seen Ed Hockley quartered in the middle
Correct.
of a field
They
before.
generally don't drag you out and tie you up.
No, that doesn't. Like what was Zlatan's line is, we lose a game and I see people in the parking lot and they shake my hand and crack some jokes.
Yeah.
In Europe, give me tacos. That's what he said. In Europe, they
come
show
to
up
your
at my
house.
house.
What?
What a terrible sport. People are that into it.
Passionate.
Man, what would you do if you were Zlatan? I'd be like, dude, I'm going to Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Where they don't care.
Go to Los Angeles. Nobody cares. It's great.
They're giving me tacos. All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben. 2-1 Argentina in the 99th minute.
We're in the waning seconds. We're at the death.
Doesn't look like the British are going to pull it
We'll
off.
see.
They've now switched their focus to golf.
Messi is pretending to be dead at midfield. So
Isn't that nice? Speaking of the British, Brian Taylor is going to join the show coming up at 3:30. We're going to talk to Joel Lorenzi at 4:05. He covers the NBA and the Bulls for The Athletic, and he did cover Summer League, so we'll talk to him about what he saw down in Vegas. Stay tuned. More next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's get a qualifier right now. 801-575-ZONE. Be caller 12. You'll qualify for the Copper Rock Open Championship giveaway. If you qualify, we will assign you a golfer in the field this week at the British Open. If that golfer wins, you're going to win a Copper Rock branded polo, an outwear piece, a hat, and a $100 gas gift card. It's all brought to you by our friends at Copper Rock, where the pros play. 801-575-ZONE. It's all over. Argentina is going to the World Cup final. They beat the English. Lionel is still alive for back-to-back.
game-winning
There
assist
he is, Lionel.
And he's
Spain.
very happy.
on Sunday.
What's this arm thing? Is that
Must be cultural.
a cultural celebration there? Anyway, the English blew it. Way to go.
Majorly. Egypt feels not so bad about themselves suddenly.
That's how Argentina's won the entire tournament, right? I wonder if the English will cry about the refs like the French coach did. You see that?
It did not.
Oh, he just questioned whether or not I don't know. This feels very European to me. I've got the quote. He says, "I don't want to come across as a sore loser because we lost, but
But
did tonight's referee have the level to officiate a World Cup semifinal?
wow. Are you a man enough?
Are you good enough to be here?
Wow.
We were good enough to be here. Are you good enough to
You ever
be
challenged a person's manhood?
I don't know. Is that challenging his man? That's more.
Are you good enough to be here?
That's more-
Is a very funny thing to ask.
That's
somebody.
more somebody challenging your like professional acumen.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sure.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
You did tell somebody I've been thrown out of class your joints in this.
I have said that
So,
before while
That's
getting.
kind of the same. It's the same spirit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sure. But no, people. Are you really qualified to do what you do? No, not really. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Okay.
So if I was this referee, I'd let it roll right off my back. But the answer is he probably had money on the game, probably like this guy. Or his life was being threatened in some way.
The coach or the ref?
The ref.
Okay.
Yeah, his kids have been kidnapped somewhere, and they said, hey, make sure Lionel makes it to the final. And that's basically what happened. Christian predicted it.
There he is, Lionel.
As soon as Argentina went down 1-0, yes. We said, well, it's going to be an exciting final 15 minutes because Argentina's about to put 2 in the back of the net. And sure enough.
There's a lot of powerful people that want
there
Lionel in the final.
There he is, Lionel.
Nobody wanted Harry Kane there, and they went out.
Yeah, so
Tough.
it is tough. But when did you say it was on Saturday?
11, 1, somewhere in that. Midday.
Okay.
Midday-ish.
But you're going to be watching Oppenheimer.
I'm going to be at the Odyssey.
Oh,
Yeah.
the other one. Okay, there you go, 1 o'clock on Big Fox, right? They're not just putting that one on FS1 like they've done with some of the other games.
Bury some of the big games, yeah.
No, not going to happen. All right, there you go. There's your World Cup update. Your final is going to be Argentina against Spain. Are you going to be cheering for one or the other?
I have some friends who are Argentine, and I know more people who served missions in Argentina than I do the UK.
Okay.
So I guess they feel some affiliation to it.
What was the controversy? The head of their soccer federation, made out with somebody at the celebration last
The
time?
president of the soccer federation in Argentina was kissing all the women, or kissed one of the women.
I think that's what it was,
players.
right? And they got
They're like,
fired.
you don't get to do that.
It's like, dude, you had the best job in the world.
Yeah.
You're just taking bribes hand over fist.
Yeah, it's being
Stop making out with the gals.
Yeah, Krause when Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls. It's like,
Yeah.
Just take credit and stay out
Don't
of the
mess
way.
it up. So much for that.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't just in celebratory fashion walk around making out with a bunch of gals? Since when?
Everybody gets a kiss. What?
Since when is that out of
Don't
bounds?
do that.
All right. Do we want to play this? Let's play this clip from Caleb Wilson.
Okay.
Where Summer League continues on, the dog days of Summer League, as they say, and we're going to talk to Joel Lorenzi at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Covered Summer League and covers the NBA for the Athletic. But this is Caleb Wilson, right, talking about Darryn Peterson. Let's play that clip, Christian.
Why was it so important for you to play that second game back to back?
I mean, I feel like I'm different than all of them. Like, I can't say they don't enjoy basketball, but like I enjoy basketball. Like I love this shit. So I mean, I'm gonna play as much as I can, as much as my team will let me. I mean, I'm not the type to go away from a game because I don't feel like I feel good. Because I know in the NBA I'm not gonna feel good some games. And as long as I don't have an injury or something that's actually wrong with me, I'm gonna play every time. Because people come from all over the world to come see me play, so I don't want to let them down too.
You told me the other day that if you didn't get to play against Darryn or AJ, that you would be cool about it. But now that the time has passed and you didn't play against them, do you still feel the same way? Are you disappointed at all?
No, I'm not disappointed. I feel like yesterday was kind of weird for me, honestly, because I expected to play against Darryn, and I expected to play against a lot of the players that they had set out. So when I came into the game, I didn't have the right mindset, in my opinion, which led to me missing my free throws. Just reflecting on it now.
He loves the game.
He was funny. He was at the draft, obviously. He was like very enthusiastic about going to Chicago. And he said like his favorite rapper is from Chicago or something. And he was a very charming kid. This is a kind of a weird step for me to start your career on.
What do you mean?
I care about basketball more than these other guys is a weird approach for me.
I would guess that's because everybody has been telling him that he's the 4th best player in this group.
I think that's true.
For the last 6 months, everybody has been saying, well, how does it feel to be 4th?
I think we talked to Kristen Peak right after the lottery, and she said, yeah, it was kind of weird to me that right after the results were revealed, they cut to AJ and Darryn and Cam Boozer and didn't show Caleb Wilson one time.
Yeah.
As far as being in the conversation with these top guys. So he was playing with a chip on his shoulder, and then obviously his injuries at North Carolina didn't allow him to play as much. I think that's all totally fair.
I think that's actually a really nice way of saying I'm as good as everybody.
Sure.
That's how I read it. Is that somebody who thinks he's as good as those other 3 players, right? I mean, even if you don't agree, Ben, I'm sure
and he might,
he
very well be, sure.
He thinks he's in the same conversation as all of those players, and he probably is hated. Opening up the draft predictor by Jabroni and having him say like, "Well, Caleb's pretty good, but I mean, he just picked up basketball like 2 days ago, and he's not nearly as good as these other guys, and he'll be slotted at 4th." He doesn't enjoy reading that, I'm sure. Or tuning into the Jake and Ben show and saying, God, why would the Jazz even consider Caleb Wilson? Which is something I'm pretty sure that I said. He probably doesn't love that.
Yeah.
And probably doesn't want to be the guy, though, that says, I'm the best there is.
Sure.
So he went with, I love basketball just as much as these guys. Yeah, I'm all right with it.
I would certainly rather him not be too cool for school, and he's certainly not too cool for school.
Yeah.
This is a more enjoyable approach than, yes, if he was sitting out and thought he was too good for Summer League. I'm glad he's not feeling that way. I do think sometimes I've got the ultimate competitive edge is, and look, I'm painting guys in a very difficult corner. I'm giving you a very narrow slot to thread of what I think the perfect approach needs to be, because I love that Victor Wembanyama wants to go out and win an all-star game, and at the same time, I'm also like, just relax, dude. Just like, it's a little corny. It's a little ridiculous.
Well, I have no idea what his approach is. I would never read into a public interview and know what his approach. I have seen before that behind the scenes, some of their less, I don't want to say lazy because that's such an insult, but I mean the lazier players talk louder about working hard.
Yes. That's everywhere in life. But certainly happens with players too.
It happens with players too. So I have after listening to that, I don't even know if he likes basketball. He might be a cricket guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's gonna tell everybody that is going to listen, like, oh, I love basketball, the very mostest on the planet, because I'm a basketball player who's trying to make millions of dollars.
One of my latest mantras in life, which is really bad for my career, is the closer I get to this, the less I know. I have realized that the more relationships I built, the closer I've gotten to people in the NBA, players, front office people, et cetera, the more things I took as something I understood or was like, well, I've got a good feel for that. The more I actually learn about what's happening, the less I kind of feel I have an accurate read on it, which I've enjoyed. I've liked recognizing that, there's a lot more to learn here. There's a lot of work still left to do, and I want to continue to get better at it. Not to sound corny like guy who's going to work harder. But along those lines, I have seen a lot of people say all the right things, and it goes completely wrong. And I've seen a lot of people say all the wrong things, and it goes completely right for them. So I realize this stuff really doesn't matter all that much.
No, I'm just jaded about being lied to repeatedly to my face
100%.
for the 20 plus years.
Yes, no, I think you're exactly right. And you have been doing this longer than I have. So I think you have reached some of these milestones earlier than I have, or before I did, just because you've been doing this longer than I have. So I do feel that same way. But along the lines of, as you have said over and over, Summer League doesn't matter. And I can I can have some qualms with that and say what I do think matters. And by the way, I don't think you're throwing everything out. But there are some things like, I think this is good, or I think this is good to say. This stuff doesn't matter to me at all. As far as like an indicator that it's going to mean he's a good player 3 years from now or 5 years from now. This doesn't signal something to me.
Can I tell you the story of when I realized, not the first time I realized that I've been lied to by a coach or a player, but the first time I really realized how like prolific it was, or how much it happened. And it's kind of funny. Bronco's back in the conversation, but it was Bronco Mendenhall. No offense to him. He's far from the worst offender. But when BYU was going independent, there were reports for a solid month leading up to it that said, like BYU's considering going independent. Utah's going to the Pac-12. BYU's kicking the fires on it. All these reports and stuff. Bronco was doing spring ball at the time, and so was doing media availability, and he was asked about it. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't heard that. Went right to that. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing. That was his answer. I don't know what it was word for word, but his answer was that. Well, lo and behold, BYU gets in or goes independent, right? It happened days maybe after he had addressed it. And afterwards, it's like, you're trying to tell me that the athletic director is considering taking the football team into independence, and he would never even have mentioned that to the coach?
The head coach had no idea?
The head coach had no clue?
Yeah.
Now, all Bronco had to do was go, that's Tom's department. That's the athletic department stuff. I'm just trying to get through spring ball, which would have been honest. Maybe not telling you everything that he knew, but it's not his place to comment on it. He could have just done that. But his go-to was a lie. And so it's like, well, you just lie so much that your automatic is just to
lie.
Oh, I'm just going to lie about it? Like, it makes my life easier just to lie about it, so I'm just going to lie about it? Could have easily answered it in a very delicate yet honest way, but instead was like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. That's fake news, essentially. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, you're automatic, your go-to is just to be dishonest about it, that you don't even think about it, because you had to know the question was coming. You had to know about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lie about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, no offense to Bronco, but it just seemed so easy. that was like his default. So I don't know what to believe. I have no idea if he likes basketball. I'm sure during his career, Greg Ostertag told you a million times, like, man, I love this game.
Love being here.
Yeah, love being here every second of it. Lo and behold, he retires, and we figure out, he didn't really like basketball.
Liked his zebras and his camels and his kangaroos and whatever he's raising in Texas more.
Really wasn't that all that into it. But going through it, I'm sure he would say, I eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. Are you kidding me? So I have no idea.
Yep.
Does loving basketball even equate success?
It also doesn't matter. Yeah,
No.
I don't. It doesn't. So look, I'll say this now. This is an easy approach to take because he's in the middle of a renaissance. He's having a very good run over the last 12 months, and that's Keontae George. Every single report, everyone I've talked to on the record, off the record, behind the scenes, which, by the way, they could be lying to me. People could be lying to me as well. But every single thing I've ever heard is nobody watches more basketball than Keontae George. He's a psycho. He is a freak. He's at every Jazz draft workout. There's a reason he wanted to coach the summer league team. That's all he does when he goes home. Like, he's got his girlfriend, he's got his dogs and his cat, I think, and he watches basketball. He just is truly a basketball junkie. He loves to, quote, eat tape. That's all cool. It probably doesn't matter. It matters some. I remember Rudy Gobert talking about how much game footage he watched, and he remembered watching an alignment come out of a timeout in a late game situation where he recognized what the opposing team was running and blew it up because he had seen it on camera and went and blocked a shot for a game winner because he really did that, which was great. It was awesome for Rudy. The biggest thing was probably that he was 7'1", 7'2". That was probably the real biggest advantage of how he blew that play up more than he had actually watched it. But look, Keontae can watch a million hours of footage. If Darryn Peterson's a better player, then Darryn Peterson's just a better player. It just doesn't really. Some of that stuff doesn't matter that much, actually.
See, that's a good one. The eat, sleep, and breathe film. Do you know how many players I've heard that about?
Countless. Yeah.
I have no idea if they're doing that. That could be an absolute bald-faced lie. I would bet. Do you remember when it became public that Kyler Murray was playing video games?
I was just about to bring him up.
And they put it in his contract that he had to watch X amount of film. After that became public, I don't even know who the coach was at the time. It wasn't Kingsbury, was it?
I don't think so.
But I bet you could find a quote from whoever the coach was at the time trying to do a little PR save for that becoming public. I bet you the coach said, he eats and breathes film every day. This is hardly necessary. They just blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've heard that about so many players. I don't know. Keontae might be into watching reruns of The Office. I have no clue. Donovan Mitchell watched a lot of basketball because he was annoying about tweeting about every other game but the one he was playing in. But I don't know. Does that mean anything?
Does that mean anything? No. No, it doesn't.
Now, I think, if you don't adequately prepare, I do believe that makes you less of a player.
If you hate basketball, your odds of becoming a great basketball player are not as high.
But you can hate basketball all you want. Are you going to do what it takes to be prepared?
Was Andre Agassi a good tennis player?
Pretty dang good.
Did he like tennis?
Not particularly. Does Serena Williams like tennis?
Probably the best ever.
She does not.
But did not like playing.
No.
Or didn't like playing. Might be the best female player of all time. Probably is the best female player of all time.
Be one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Right. So, yeah, so that stuff. Again, Caleb Wilson, I'm rooting for all these kids. I want young people to succeed and have fun, and I liked watching his stuff at North Carolina, and I'm glad he has bucked all the trends of what his reputation was coming out of Carolina as a non-shooter. But the longer I do this, again, when I used to think, well, that matters. He said it. It matters.
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't matter. The further I've gotten in my career, the more I recognize there's probably less correlation between what people say and what people do than I ever believed.
Enough to make you cynical.
Yeah. And I'm trying to not be jaded because I like the people. I do. I like the people we get to cover, we get to know, we get to talk to. I'm not just talking about players. I like the human aspect of all of this. I try to not be jaded and not doubt everybody and doubt everybody. But I also recognize that I've heard so many things so many times and they don't really, it doesn't mean anything in the long run.
Man, Argentina. That was a good pass by Lionel for the win.
Eats the tape.
He eats tape.
Watches a lot of footage.
I mean,
I love this.
he ignores his kids 24/7.
Correct. Bad father.
His kids
Good
come
soccer
to him
player.
and say, "Hey, Dad, how about you read me a story?" He says, "What are you doing?" I'm
Watching Maradona highlights.
yeah, get away from me.
Yeah.
Eats it. All right. BT, coming up next, we'll talk a little golf with the Open Championship. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's do another qualifier for the Copper Rock Open Championship giveaway. Be caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. We will assign you a golfer in the top 25 of the field at the British Open this week. If your golfer wins, you win a Copper Rock branded polo, outerwear piece, a hat, and a $100 gas gift card. It's all courtesy of our friends at Copper Rock, where the pros play. 801-575-ZONE, caller number 12, right now. Do you remember who we assigned on our last giveaway, Christian?
Minwoo Lee.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Dang.
Well, that was the last
Woo's
time.
off the list.
We'll find out who is in this next one. We're hoping to talk to Brian Taylor of Real Golf Radio fame and get his thoughts on what to watch for at the Open Championship. I heard Scotty, and Scotty's a grass guy, so we'll give him a pass. But him complaining about the unique style of British links courses.
You're talking about actual lawn.
Yeah. No, not a weed. No, I'm talking
know
about
that about Scotty?
No, Scotty's a grass.
It's news to me.
So Scotty's hobby is he's a lawn guy. A lawn guy. And so he doesn't like the brown grass
Sure.
at the British Open.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it. I like the original nature of it. And at least link style and those types of courses change how the golfers have to play.
Mm-hmm.
With the wind and it dries out and the rough is a little bit different. You can't just stop your ball.
Right.
I don't know. It changes it a little bit. I like it, though. Watching that John Vanderbilt guy try to hit it out of the... Remember that? The stream or whatever that was?
I don't need it to be easy. Yeah. I don't need every round to be easy, and I don't need it to be positive scores, plus scores, winning, but I don't need it to be 18 under by Sunday.
I don't know about easy. I just more different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the States with all these overwatered courses where they can just stop it right next to the pin,
Right.
And this is a different style where you're going to have to run it up. You're going to have to play some different shots, some different clubs. That's why Bob was telling us yesterday that kind of the creme de la creme of golf history is won at this course because usually it takes the best player or one of the best players to do it as opposed to someone that, makes a few putts.
Russell Henley, Justin Rose, Victor Hovland, the opening tee time tonight, technically tomorrow morning, 9:36 a.m. In the UK, 4:36 our time.
I'm setting my alarm.
Set your alarm.
Probably not. But I'll watch it on Sunday.
You're not going to, and it's not like you need to get up that much later than that.
When we get up early.
You will still be, maybe making the turn
Oh, yeah.
when you're watching that opening round?
Probably
You'll
true.
be up and moving.
I could watch something while I make breakfast. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
You guys have a TV in the kitchen?
Kind of. there is no wall between our kitchen and our living room, and so I can kind of angle the TV so I can see it. We made one big room out of both rooms.
Sure.
If that makes any sense. How do you make a little house feel bigger, Ben?
Open concept.
You get rid of walls.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. So, yeah, I'll turn it on then, coming up in the morning. In fact, let's get to it. We'll talk to BT. Go ahead and hit that open.
This Open Championship update is presented by Copper Rock, where the pros play on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
His visit on the show is brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, Uinta Golf as well. Of course, you hear him on Real Golf Radio every Saturday morning. He's our buddy Brian Taylor. Hello, BT.
Yo, BT.
Hey, what's up, boys?
We're doing well. We were making fun of some family members and a family member of my dental hygienist who blocked off 2 weeks to watch the World Cup. When they are playing across the pond, are you waking up at 4:36 a.m. to see Justin Rose's tee time?
You know, that's always the dilemma. I can tell you when I was younger, I was very enthusiastic about getting up really early and watching the coverage. Of course, so much has changed. You know, your ability to, consume content has changed over the years, right, as well. So I probably will stay up late tonight to watch the first tee shot, which is, I think, a little before midnight our time usually. I haven't looked the exact first tee time, but something like that. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of see it tee off and then get a little sleep, wake up. And then, breakfast in the British Open is like one of my favorites. Just sit there, get some cereal, whatever you're having, and just watch some golf. And this one's going to be particularly, a lot of times you're sitting here, it's 100 degrees outside, and then you're watching guys over there in sweaters and stocking hats and things like that. It's not going to be that way. It's going to look a lot like it feels here watching those guys play that burnout Birkdale. So it'll be fun.
I've heard you talk a little bit about this, but how different is it to play this British links style course, and why does it favor, kind of the best players in the world?
Yeah, it's a good question, Jake. And golf is, with links especially, the firmer, the harder it is, the faster the course plays, the more difficult the test. And that's for a lot of reasons. Off the tee, links courses are notorious for pot bunkers and, in some cases, heavy gorse bushes or tall heather or whatever you want to call it, right? So when the fairways, just think about it this way, when the fairways are soft, you could hit a drive and it'll kind of check up in the fairway and it'll roll out a little bit, but it pretty much stays where you hit it. When it's firm and fast, just think about trying to hit a tee shot down your road and hope it stays in between the gutters and doesn't hop into anything that it shouldn't, right? So that's kind of what these guys are going to be facing. I heard John Rahm mention he could probably get a 6-iron 280 yards on some of these holes when they're downwind on these firm, fast fairways. So what it's gonna do is bring out the creativity. It's going to create some decisions for these best players, and that's usually when it causes the players at the highest level trouble, when they can't just point and shoot, point and click, same thing, on the next hole. They really are going to have some really good caddy discussions. I think is going to be really entertaining this week, where guys are going to be discussing strategy off the tees, into the greens, and certainly into the greens, same thing. Most of the time, you're going to be playing shots that you're going to allow for some run up. You're not throwing darts like you do at a lot of the USPGA courses. And so I think that tends to lean to the strengths of the best ball strikers, which tend to be the best players in the game. And ball striking is just a kind of a cool term that I've always liked, that just describes that a player that's able to control his shot shape, trajectory, all of that kind of thing, and play shots with different clubs into different windows. And when you're able to do that, it's a different level of creativity that will be on display, and I think it'll be really entertaining for people to watch.
Outside of weather being beneficial, depending on when you're teeing off, if it's going to get worse or it's going to dry out or whatever, do you have any personal theories or conspiracies when it comes to groupings of, hey, I think it's beneficial to be in a strong grouping early, everyone's playing sharp, or do you think that makes it more difficult? Do you have any of your own personal opinions on that?
I know there's stats out there that'll tell you, late early versus early late, in certain majors tend to favor certain players. But at the Open Championship, it's difficult because the weather not only can change daily, it can change within the day, on a lot of these links courses. So, you could sit home on TV and watch the way the course is playing for the guys in the early groups when you're in the afternoon wave. And by the time you get out and tee off, the conditions have completely changed based on the direction of the wind. And so that's some of the uniqueness of links golf. As far as your grouping with players and who's playing well and having a strong grouping, I do think you tend to see often guys will draft off each other a little bit. One guy's hot and the other guy's, you got a couple of good players grouped together and both are kind of drafting off each other and going low. So, and then by going low, major championship speak, sometimes that could be hanging around even par, but playing well. And so I consequently, you got a couple guys in your group going bad. Sometimes that makes it extra difficult to focus and try to play your game and play well when your playing companions are struggling. So, that's a unique dynamic to the game. Who do you get paired with? And that's why it's always interesting when the majors release these pairings. Some of them are traditional. At the Masters, the defending champ usually plays with the U.S. amateur champ and things like that. So there's certain, sort of traditional groupings, but the Open Championship anymore, it sort of has been marquee groupings at all different windows of television time, right? So that when people are tuning in, they've got somebody that they recognize to watch.
So now that Scheffler is missing cuts again, I'm assuming we all just assume he stinks now.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't put any money on that guy. He's let's see, I saw a stat today that said he's the only player in the 4 major strokes gained, which means basically how he ranks against the field in shots off the tee, shots into the green, shots around the green, and putting, that's inside the top 15. The next closest that has any sort of has those 4 inside the top 50 is Ludwig Oberg. So when you look at it, the guy's still playing a super high level of golf. I think he's I think I said this earlier today, he doesn't quite have the dust perhaps that, he had the last couple of years where every sort of putt that could have lipped out, lipped in. And it seems like this year he's had some that could have lipped in that lipped out. That's golf. That happens. But, Scotty's still the odds on favor for a reason. He's the number 1 player in the world for a reason. And he's a defending champ. So it's kind of cool too. I love stats. And the last time a player went back to back at the Open Championship was here at Birkdale, Padraig Harrington in 2008, coming off of his win at Carnoustie in 2007. So, we'll see. I think Scotty's still a good bet this week, and I would have to say that the claret jug runs through him.
What do you think we can go 18 months, but really last 2 years have meant for Rory McIlroy and his legacy and how he's going to be viewed long term?
Now you're asking me from my perspective. And it's interesting because Rory, I think, is the most polarizing, guy in the game right now. And people would argue Bryson DeChambeau. I'm with you. There's a lot of guys. Sergio's pretty polarizing these days. But as far as popularity and game, you got a back-to-back Masters champion who was for, the last 5-6 years, the spokesman for the PGA Tour against this whole live thing. And then he's got away from that, didn't want to do anything with it. Now he doesn't really want to talk about it. Now he says things that are just he's in this era of I feel like he's too young to be saying some of the things he's saying, in the sense that when Jack Nicklaus or Gary Player or some of these guys sit down after they hit the ceremonial tee shot at Augusta, they'll wax on and on about, back in the day, or this is what I see, or the challenges of the game today, or the problems are, and, things like that. And they sort of, that's like elder statesmen sort of looking back, on tell you what they think and what's wrong and why it was better then and all that kind of thing. And I feel like Rory's sort of tackling some of those issues. And maybe it's like too early, like he's still winning, like he's still the 2-time reigning Masters champion. And so he says some things that you just kind of go, huh? And some people hate it. Some people are like, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, things like that. So as far as like legacy goes, like from a playing standpoint, to win back-to-back majors, to get the career Grand Slam, like Rory's, beyond a Hall of Famer. He's one of the all-time greats, right? And the success he's had on both Europe's side, plus, in the U.S. on the PGA Tour, is undisputed. And he's likely to go down as the greatest European golfer of all times. But when you think of legacy, I often think about how people are remembered. And I do think that in this age of social media, of clips, and quotes that just get passed around and commented on and dissected and broke down. I think he's lost maybe a little of his appeal in the court of public opinion just because of some of the things he said. I think a lot of people, that loved Liv don't like the things he has to say, and even the PGA guys. He's sort of like one of those guys that seemed like he was on one political party, and now he's sort of like skating the line between the two, and that, I think that has some polarizing effects. So that's kind of a weird answer to say, like, his golf clubs have done the work and the talking that makes him one of the greats of all time. Sometimes I think his mouth makes people sort of turn their head sideways and go, huh? What was that? And that'll be interesting to see where he goes from here.
All right, Ben and I had a debate on the show yesterday, and I'm curious to where you weigh in here, BT. Who has done more damage to their legacy and reputation, Tiger or Phil?
Oh, wow. Well, I think at the moment I would say Phil. Tiger is off doing his rehab and what have you, and yet everybody still loves Tiger again, right? Yeah, and it's almost like, oh, there goes Tiger again. Now, I'll say this, and I don't want to make light of it at all, right? I mean, DUI situations, regardless of whether it's prescription drugs or whatever the alleged. I'll just go with alleged for the sake of not knowing all of the details firsthand. But you've got, so far he's really only hurt himself. I mean, when he crashed that Genesis, he was lucky to survive himself. It certainly affected his career and his ability to play the game at the highest level, but he survived. At this point in time, he hasn't really hurt anybody else. If he were to, and it seems inevitable if you keep up that kind of behavior behind the wheel, that it's sort of inevitable that you're going to hurt or kill somebody. That's one of those things that would be, obviously life-changing for so many. And but at this point in time, barring all that, I think it's Tiger just, I don't know why, but Tiger seems to have a little bit more equity built up, where Phil seems to be a bit of a pariah right now. And with his, trying to submerge, the PGA Tour and the trader sort of thing that he went through. And then now you add on, it was always sort of, well, at least he wasn't this like Tiger. Well, now it seems like those are some of those similar things he's going through now, at least allegedly. And I would say Phil for sure has had the biggest damaging effect. I don't know that he's welcome back on the PGA Tour, maybe ever. He's already in the Hall of Fame, so they can't really take that away from him. But he's sort of, scarlet letter guy, where I think Tiger still has, plenty of capital left amongst the public. That's my opinion. I don't know. How did you guys debate it?
Well, we decided Tiger's offenses were more egregious from a legal standpoint. Yeah. Because taking drugs and driving is probably a bad idea.
More illegal than hitting on dudes' wives, which is not cool either.
And hiring the cart dog to drive around with your phone, which is kind of funny. But Tiger's affairs, we remember, they captivated the nation for like a month. They kept a counter on how many gals had come out to say they had affairs. Remember the Perkins waitress? So I don't know. Phil's are more recent, right? But Tiger's are pretty epic.
You're also right, BT, that Tiger is so much more beloved at his height than even Phil was. I mean, so much more beloved. So he's got more room to fall, which can be good or bad.
Although Phil was the Arnold Palmer.
He's the popular.
He would have built the statue. He actually spent more time with the fans. Even though Tiger was more revered, I think Phil was more maybe even loved in the sense that Phil would take the time to sign the autographs, take the pictures, do all the public appearance stuff. Regardless of how he was off of camera, he always seemed to be on, in front of the public. And he was literally going to be, he could have slid into the CBS tower. He would have been calling shots. He would have literally had the world. He was the oldest major winner coming off of the Kiowa win at the PGA. Everything was set. I don't know. I mean, Phil was always so entertaining for how spectacularly he played golf, whether it was for the good or for the disaster. It was always spectacular. And I think only Phil could have spectacularly blown up his career and his reputation the way he has done in the last several years.
Hey, this is America. We love tearing people down, but we love building them back up. Yeah, so we'll see.
The story is not finished.
No, it isn't by a long shot. But the collapse has been pretty epic, that is for sure. BT, you are epic. You do a great job covering, every week, but certainly covering all the majors. We appreciate you and all of your fine work.
Enjoy the Open, guys. It's going to be a long drought before the first week of April when we get to see another major after this week. So savor.
Thanks, BT.
See you, boys.
There you go. That's Brian Taylor. Hear him every Saturday morning on Real Golf Radio.
Just hoping Tony Finau keeps his nose clean. Seems like
Tony's got to get his.
I was talking to the president.
Tony's got to get his game back.
Correct.
He's got to get his game back on track, get healthy, and qualify for some tournaments.
He will.
We can worry about legacy later.
Got a bunch of kids, right? He's doing the young dad thing.
Hey, it is super hard to, unless you are Scott Scheffler, who sets an unfair bar, it's hard to stay on the PGA Tour. It's hard to compete in all these tournaments, week after week after week.
We were making a joke, I think it was off the air, about you should want Lionel Messi because he's a bad father. Now, we don't know if Messi's a bad father. I don't even know how many kids he has.
No, we were talking about him watching film.
But the idea is he is a bad father because all he does is watch soccer, which makes him a great player.
Uh-huh.
The correlation then being that you should want players on your team that are bad fathers because it means they're going to be good soccer players because they're not spending any of their time with their family.
They're not with their children.
Because we were talking about how there's really no correlation between a lot of the things that we seem to praise, a la Caleb Wilson, talking about maybe I like basketball more. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't know if Shaq liked basketball, but he's a better player than you were. Not all those things matter. But now getting into Phil took time to sign more autographs than anybody else. Doesn't mean he was the best guy, apparently.
Or maybe he was really great at the time and has had a turn.
Or has had a turn, right.
I don't know.
Correct.
He obviously is Phil is an adrenaline junkie. I mean, most gamblers are. That's why they do what they do. And Phil's game always played into that, right? That's why he was popular. People liked that he took chances, and he had some pretty epic failures, at the U.S. Open and others that he bounced back from and was continued to be, kind of the gambler. Then it eventually paid off. But, chasing that adrenaline is often bad for people and leads to bad decisions. I think at his heart, he's a gambling addict, and that has led to other issues.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah. Chasing it.
Yep.
Because if you look at the amount of bets that he was doing in his heyday and just the sheer volume of it, that's a guy who's chasing it all of the time.
Can't stop.
And then you hear all the epic stories about him in practice rounds and betting big with these other players and having all these brash moves and all these like legendary things. And it really is just somebody that has an addiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no romance to it actually at all.
Mm-mm. But that chasing of adrenaline, I'm sure, is part of what makes him a great golfer. Like Robin Williams, rest his soul, was bipolar, and his mental illness was part of what made him brilliant, unfortunately.
Who was our Olympic snowboarder in Canada who became a drug kingpin that just got arrested?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, those are absolutely related.
Right.
That wasn't an accident. Now, not every adrenaline junkie becomes a drug dealer.
No, but it's in the same family.
But there's a reason that guy became a kingpin and was also a super high-level snowboarder.
Right.
Those were the two sides of the same coin.
Breaking Bad. The science teacher starts selling meth.
Like,
No, not close. Not quite.
You're almost there.
I think I have.
You haven't watched Point Break yet.
I think I have the opposite of that.
Which is probably the right way.
Like the adrenaline that comes with coiling a hose is too much for me. I need to.
You're right. You really celebrate moderation.
Yeah, celebrate the anti-adrenaline.
Right.
I don't. The adrenaline frightens me.
Yeah.
I can't have any.
Right.
But
you know what? Relatedly, and a positive, your car insurance rate's got to be like
$35
a month.
Yeah, pretty good. It's not bad at all.
No speeding tickets. Yeah, you're doing
Nothing.
great.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have more coming up next. Jake and Ben 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Wednesday. That means it's a win ticket Wednesday. Ben, let's do it right now. Caller number 12, 801-575-ZONE. You're going to win a family 4-pack of tickets to go see Zach Bryan at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Don't miss your chance to see one of country music's biggest stars live at Rice-Eccles Stadium on August 7th. Be caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. Did you see that it was Adam Silver who crawled out of his crypt and made the WNBA suspend. What was her name?
I did.
It was the gal who punched the throat of Caitlin Clark.
Correct.
What was her name?
Yeah. I did see that he played a role in the suspension.
Well, now the WNBA is denying it, actually, and saying that Adam didn't have anything to do with it. But the Sports Business Journal is reporting that he did, and it was Alyssa Thomas, by the way, is the name of the gal for the Mercury.
Adam needs to go on defense because he is probably rightfully, and even if it's not rightfully, at least in the court of public opinion, has kind of become dubbed as the worst commissioner in sports right now. Certainly of the major four. Everybody hates the new apron rules in the NBA because while Victor Wembanyama is getting a pat on the back for taking 25% of the max, or the 25% max as opposed to 30% max, other people are also saying, why do we have super billionaire owners forcing players, who, by the way, are also just absurdly wealthy, but why are the players taking a pay cut to keep teams together as opposed to super billionaire owners paying a little bit extra to keep the rosters together? This seems a little bizarre. Now, again, I would also let you know that the players have zero in common with you as a person, with the amount of money that they make as well, for the most part.
Oh man, I'm all about blasting away on Adam Silver. I'm surprised that is what.
But it's one of the many things people are getting frustrated with Adam Silver.
Like the second apron. You know why you do all that stuff? Competitive fairness, to keep parity in the league, to keep more fan bases engaged, and to keep more eyeballs on the product, as opposed to the whole sport being centered around the Los Angeles Dodgers, like Major League Baseball is.
Correct.
There's one team in the whole dang league.
I'm with you.
So that is, I of all the things to criticize Adam Silver for, I have not heard that much of that one.
But people hate the new draft rules or tanking rules.
Yep.
We have seen people.
The play-in?
Yeah, the play-in, the in-season tournament. People have not liked the idea that you're not building dynasties anymore, that there are more random teams winning than ever before. There are front-running national media members who don't want to have to watch the Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder and et cetera, et cetera. I know we're coming off of a Knicks championship, but there were times when it was easier when all you had to do was watch the Warriors or the Cavs because they had Steph and LeBron and they were going to be in the championship every year. So
now, I'm actually totally fine with Adam Silver weighing in on this, if this turns out to be true, by the way, because he is her boss. Speaking of the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert. The NBA is invested in the WNBA, and she is doing a terrible job handling the league right now. Although, ironically enough, the league is getting more attention than it ever has.
It's never been better.
It's just not for the best reasons. I had no clue how rough the WNBA was. Mm-hmm. I mean, take Caitlin Clark aside, who should have the expectations to not get stabbed in the eyeball with a fingernail when she's trying to play basketball, or stepped on or throat punched or whatever this is.
Right.
But there's like crazy rough fouls all the time, and it may be the worst officiated sport I've ever seen.
The infrastructure in the sport, unfortunately, is quite poor. Now, it has some real advantages. The recent contracts that have been negotiated through the CBA are A+. The women are making a lot of money now. It's going to draw more talent. There is more talent in the league right now than there's ever been before. There are truly superstars in the league. You know, Caitlin Clark was kind of thought of as having to be a savior for the WNBA. And while she brought some attention to it, she's like 10th best player in the league, 8th best player in the league right now. She didn't actually need to be Michael Jordan, and the league is still in pretty good shape because you have Olivia Miles, you have all these other women who have, Ionescu, who has stepped up, Asia Wilson, who might be the greatest player of all time, that are playing great. And there's a lot of talent on a lot of teams, or Sophie Cunningham, who's gotten a lot of attention recently for memes and other reasons, and all for good, that are good for the WNBA. The league is technically in a very good spot, but it's not being run particularly well.
No, and hey, whatever. I have no idea. I would argue Caitlin Clark might be better than that, but she is the most popular player.
But she is the most popular player.
You have to deal with that, whether she's the second best or fourth best or whatever. And they've got a lot of jelly going on because they've been wanting attention for a long time. But Charles Barkley is right when he talks about this. Just be grateful you're getting the attention. It's coming. And now people like Ben Anderson and others are talking about the other great players in the league when nobody cared before. And I know that became a taboo thing to say, but it's true. Nobody cared about the WNBA. You know who watches stupid WNBA videos in my feed constantly? Me.
Yeah.
You know how much I used to do that?
Never.
Never.
Yep.
Never even thought about it.
No, rising tides.
And I'm looking at quotes from Paige
And
Beckers
Caitlin Clark
and all
is the
these
tides.
and she's the tide.
Yeah.
And you know what? Adam Silver should have gotten out of his grave and said, "What are you doing? Suspend this player because
Correct.
you can't have." I mean, the extreme, of course, is the malice in the palace, right? And you can't have people like fist fighting and doing all that. But you can't have your players punching them, other players into the throat or stabbing them in the eyeball with their fingernails or any of the stuff that goes on the reg in the WNBA. Somebody had to step in and tell this lady to grow a spine and figure out how to manage what is going on.
I'm not sure we would give David Stern a passing grade for every decision he made as the commissioner of the NBA. Some of them were extraordinarily flawed. Some of them were based on race, which were very flawed. However, he also said, you know what we need to stop having? Guys getting put in a chokehold and getting punched in the face. People actually don't want to watch that.
No.
We need to clean up our league. We need our league to be more family friendly. We need to make sure that the league feels safe. And he ruled at times with an iron fist and developed a truly amazing league that was probably the best sport in the 90s.
Made it more accessible.
And everybody has benefited since then. And that's where Engelbert needs to make the league more accessible.
And listen, I think it gets ridiculous sometimes, but in this country we love justice. And that's a good thing when it comes to the law. I don't know. Sometimes in sports, I think we overcorrect a little bit. But people are going to look at that. They're going to look at your league, and they want some justice because they know that you're not supposed to get punched in the throat when you're playing basketball. So people want to see something happening. And when the commissioner is like, meh, it seemed like a no call to me.
Yeah. It's a turnoff.
Somebody's got to say, you got to get a hold of this. Get a hold of this thing.
Right.
You know, Kurt Rambis getting to get decapitated.
Correct.
And everybody saying, play on,
Yeah.
is not actually good for the league.
Right. It's a funny highlight in retrospect, but it's actually not good at the time.
It's not. And, you know, Kurt Rambis was not Michael Jordan.
Correct.
And Caitlin Clark may be not the best player in the league, but she is the most popular and the most well-known. Yep. And the videos are going to be everywhere.
Yep.
Coming up next, we'll continue to talk some NBA. Joining the show will be Joel Lorenzi. He covers the Bulls, but really the NBA overall for The Athletic. He was at Summer League. He joined us during the, Western Conference Finals? Because he was in Oklahoma City. He was really good. Yep. So eager to get his insight coming up next. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to talk to Joel Lorenzi coming up here momentarily. Apparently, he's just getting home from Summer League, just rolling off the plane. So we'll get to him when he's available to us. Nothing like rolling down the concourse doing a radio hit coming back from Summer League. I bet he's exhausted.
Getting off the plane in Vegas is one of my bottom 5 favorite feelings on the planet.
Why?
That heat wall that hits you, the dryness, and it's 1 billion degrees. And I've always, I think every time I've flown into Vegas, it's been after a radio show. So we'll do a show. We have to get down there for Media Day or Vegas or Summer League, or I should say, whatever it is. I get down there. It's dark out. I'm like, cool. It shouldn't be 115 degrees. But it's Las Vegas, and it's always 115 degrees. And I've only ever gone in June or July.
You should really pick a different month.
I should
to
pick
go.
a different month, but I don't get to design when they do Big 12 or Pac-12 Media Day.
Yeah, well, find another reason.
Okay.
There's many shows.
Sure, there is.
I didn't know if you know this, but they have concerts.
There's other things going on.
Yeah.
This also probably is why I have a jaded view of Las Vegas.
I would say, now I most identify this sensation with Atlanta because I feel like I fly through Atlanta a lot. Atlanta is just as bad.
Okay.
When you get on the jetway, and it's not just the heat, but it's also the air around you weighs 1,000 pounds, and all of a sudden you're covered in sweat,
Yeah,
and
you're
all you did
swimming out of this airport.
all you did was walk up the ramp.
Yes.
Just as jarring. But I know what you're talking about.
But on the flip side, one of my favorite feelings on the planet, which I'm sure a lot of people hate, is landing in Salt Lake City and getting to this paper thin air when we get off the plane here, and the freshness I feel like our air has because it is so thin and I'm used to it, as opposed to breathing air in Orlando, Atlanta, where anywhere if you come from the South, that's so either humid or hot. I love getting back to Salt Lake City and feeling the crispness of the air, even in the middle of summer.
The worst one for me, and this is because the last whatever years I've taken the chance to take a vacation during All-Star break, which is in February. There's nothing like going somewhere. We did Maui one year.
Warm or tropical.
Warm or tropical, and then you take the red eye back, and then it's 9 a.m. in Salt Lake, and you walk out the door because I volunteered to go get the car at the garage.
It's 29 degrees.
For Maui, it was like 8.
Yeah.
And, it's like hours ago. I was in shorts.
Yeah.
Like
Sun was
75,
out.
76.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
And now my teeth are chattering. That one, not my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. As we mentioned, he covers the NBA and the Bulls specifically for The Athletic. We believe he's just landed, coming home from Summer League. He's Joel Lorenzi with us back here on the Jake and Ben Show. Joel, how are you?
I'm good. I am on the tarmac as we speak.
Oh, wow. Very nice of you to join us as soon as you are when you've got still so many other things going on. Well, okay, you've been in Vegas. You've been taken in the Summer League. This is a historic class. I mean, this class is already, and we'll see, but already seems to be living up to the hype. The top 4 players have been excellent. There have been some other big performances. Yoxel Lindeborg has looked really good early on as well. What did you make of what you've seen so far in Vegas and Summer League overall?
Yeah, it is this sweltering circus of overreaction. Like we know that, but I will say, like any overreaction for these top 4 guys feels granted, feels warranted, man. Like even like I'm hearing whispers in the gym. Obviously, I was at every Bulls game in person because I'm covering Caleb Wilson closely, and I'm hearing whispers throughout the gym like maybe he should have went number 1, and then on another night, it's like maybe Darryn Peterson should have went over AJ Dybantsa, and then AJ Dybantsa to me outplays Darryn Peterson when they face off, and he gets to the free throw line 10 times or whatever, and people are like, okay, maybe AJ Dybantsa was justified in going number 1. It's just this constant shift, and it's been fun to follow, man. I mean, I think the consensus is that all 4 of these guys are going to change the game for their franchises.
A sweltering cesspool of overreaction.
Yeah.
I am going to remember that line because that sums up
tagline for our show.
Exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, no, that's a
Sports
a great
radio
point.
overall.
Well, on that note, with that in mind, give us your first impression of Caleb Wilson. We saw him go up against the Jazz. A lot of people were surprised about him shooting the ball, but what'd you think?
I gotta say, guys, I don't think I've ever covered a player like this, and I've covered MVPs. I've covered like really unique personalities, man, and I just think the combination of like age and emotional intelligence and like just detonation, like as a orator, like this guy, like every time he talks, the tweet's getting 10,000 likes. Like the guy just he really talks his talk, man, and like the sound bites from this past week, like when people were stunned that he could shoot after that first game, he's like, well, I don't know if you guys watch college basketball, but we ran the Carolina break. Like, they didn't let me shoot. Like, I always been this. And then he comes out yesterday and he's saying, well, I know I didn't get to play against AJ Dybantsa and Darryn Peterson, and I can't speak for them, but I enjoy basketball. I love this bleep, and there was no way I was going to not play a back-to-back. And so he's a fiery quote, and as a player, we're looking at a guy. I mean, I think the Bulls firmly believe across the board that he's going to be their franchise player, and rightfully so. I mean, at his height, I think he can be a guy with his rare skill set where he could both handle in the pick and roll and set in the pick and roll. He seems to have his comfortability with shooting off the dribble. He lives above the rim. I mean, the guy had the craziest dunk maybe of Summer League. Not even maybe. He for sure had the craziest dunk of Summer League. What am I talking about? And so, like, he just has this rare skill set where it feels like he's coming to save them. I don't know. Maybe that's hyperbolic. It feels that way.
So covering the Jazz is interesting culturally in the NBA. Every year there was a question, and the higher you get in the draft, the seemingly more pertinent the question is, is this guy going to be happy playing in Utah? We heard it a lot with Darryn Peterson. We heard it a lot last year with Ace Bailey. Are they going to fit culturally? They went to a big college. Are they going to want to go live in a small city? Et cetera, et cetera. Chicago is a different animal. It's a major city. It's a cool market.
Yeah.
The shadow of Michael Jordan, I have to imagine, still lingers enormously large there, despite the fact that Michael seems to want nothing to do with the NBA anymore. How does that get talked about with players and how they can handle the culture of Chicago or the Bulls or what are some of the key markers people are looking for?
Well, you would think it's a benefit for them, right? Then again, historically, in free agency, when free agency was more prominent, it didn't exactly help them. LeBron wasn't wooed by the lake, I suppose. But, like, it is still attractive. And when players get there, I would push back on, like, that notion that people don't want to go to Utah for that stuff. Because when players are in a city, once they get a regimen, like, players are cool living in OKC so long as, like, it contributes to their development. And certainly OKC does, I'll tell you that. But, like, Chicago, yes, like, there's this looming, part of my use of saving the Bulls in this sort of dreadful 30 years since Michael Jordan is the fact that Michael Jordan once existed in his place, and he's left behind one of the largest shadows of legacy in sports. And I think the great thing about Caleb Wilson and the franchise, I imagine certainly feels this way, is that he's leaning into all of that. He understands the proximity to that North Carolina to Chicago pipeline, and he's not afraid to use the word GOAT. He's not afraid to evoke Michael Jordan's name. Like, he wants to lean into all this. He wants to be great. He wants to be elite. So I think while it is a component, it's one he certainly leaned into.
I've covered a few summer leagues, and I always thought the most fun part was that the entire NBA world was in one place, and there was always buzz about something, rumors going around or people talking about, whatever the topic of the day. So I'm curious, what was the buzz like this year at Summer League, and what were people talking about?
If I have to hear about LeBron anymore, frankly, then I'm going to cut off my ears. So I've stopped following that storyline. But I think people generally are talking about how these top four guys are going to shape the league. I think people are talking about the sort of new balance of power in the East because the East is pretty much got loaded overnight. And yeah, like the top four was really like the thing I heard the most. Obviously I'm in the gym most frequently with Caleb Wilson. So I think the way those guys look, like I remember talking to somebody about AJ Dybantsa after that night. He played Darryn Peterson. And the conversation I had with him was like, if the guy is going to get to the line as frequently as he did then, like, the guy is going to be a top 50 player maybe in the next 3 years. And that's nothing of like, I don't even think Caleb Wilson had played by then. And so, like, these guys are clearly going to shift, it feels like, the dynamic of power. Utah's expected to be good next year. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is because of Darryn Peterson. Darryn Peterson is this great prospect. He's, equally good on the ball as he is off the ball. I thought some of the criticism in the offseason and pre-draft was, like, overblown. We're talking about the guy and his relationship with Korea team, man. Like, if you describe the sort of archetype he had entering pre-draft, this 6'5", 6'6" guard who can play on and off the ball, throw lobs, you can keep the ball in his hands the entire game if you want to. But by the way, at Kansas, because of his weird situation, they started using him off the ball, and that's become a huge feature of his game. If you describe that guy to anybody in the past however many drafts, that guy probably goes number one. And yet people overthink this stuff, man. I think the thoughts flew out of the window of the building of Thomas and Mack this past week. That was my takeaway.
I think people in the West are still looking at Wemby, obviously, and he hasn't gotten close to his prime, and it looks like he's going to have a real chance to dominate this side of the NBA for the foreseeable future. Because the Knicks just won, because Boston suddenly doesn't seem to have a competent or working front office, how's the East being viewed right now? There was the decade where LeBron dominated and went to the finals every year, and it was just kind of a wasteland around him. I've got to imagine there's a lot of excited front offices, coaches, players in the East that this is winnable. You can go out there and make some noise in the East now, and it actually matters.
Absolutely. I think people are waiting to see, and I think it's unlikely, but people are waiting to see if LeBron goes to Philly, right? Because I think assuming that happens, because they got better once they got Jaylen Brown. I want to be on the record saying that, but assuming that happens, they're tier one of the East, which is a different ball game. And if he does go to Cleveland, I don't think Cleveland enters tier one, but they're certainly more serious than they were last year, right? So that's another juggernaut. And Philly without LeBron is really good. Boston, I know it's not sexy what they did. A lot of people would say that they're on the losing end of that deal. I don't disagree. But I do still think they're going to be good and in the mix. Maybe not tier one. I don't think they've been tier one since that finals run. But they are still very much a threat. Washington is expected to be a serious team. And I don't know how they're going to figure this thing out with, obviously you draft AJ Dybantsa to put him on the ball, to give him the ball, and they're saying they're going to put Trae Young off the ball. I'll wait and see the viability of that. But, regardless, they have pieces to be in the mix. I can name you 5, 6, 7 teams right now. Toronto, we'll see what happens with Kawhi, man. That is something I definitely don't want to touch. But, if they are able to complete this transaction, they are immediately serious. There's a number. This is as good as the East has been, in theory, in a long time, frankly. Maybe since LeBron ran the table. It's been a long time. I can't even think of the last time, frankly. The East is good.
How do you think Walker Kessler fits with the Lakers?
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, because they've got a weird team, man, and I don't know that the potential of adding Jonathan Kuminga really moves me personally, but I do think they've sort of once they knew LeBron was not going to be part of the future plans, I think they decided that they need to build a team that sort of historically adheres more to the Luka Doncic template, what Luka Doncic has been successful with, right? Because you give Luka the pieces, and he will make it happen. He is such a ceiling raiser and floor raiser, man. I don't think that this Lakers team, as constructed, is better than the Dallas group they had, even though that Dallas group, their finals run, I thought was that's kind of like a momentum thing. But they were a good team. I don't think this Lakers team is better. That said, Walker Kessler gives him one of the better defensive centers he's played with. Maybe not the same lob pick and roll threat that Derek Lively was. And they certainly don't have 48 minutes of a center rotation, which is what Luka in the past has worked best with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. They're going to need another guy as talented as Kessler. But he's off the top of my mind, I can't think of maybe I'm missing somebody pretty obvious, but it seems like the best shot blocker he's played with, which is you need stuff like that to play with Luka Doncic's shortcomings. I mean, look, there are players better than Luka Doncic. There are not many. But the league at the place it's at, you need every advantage, man. So I don't like the value of the asset and the deal they got him on and what they gave him, what they gave up to get him. I thought that was a little ridiculous. But he's a good player, and I think he will help Luka Doncic out.
Joel, you're so nice to join us on the tarmac, man, above and beyond. We really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on, as always, and we're going to bug you again soon, so we appreciate it.
Bug me whenever. I appreciate you guys.
There you go. That's Joel Lorenzi joining us from The Athletic, covers the NBA, and then specifically the Bulls.
Very good stuff, as always, from Joel. You know, you and I have, obviously because of our jobs, and just it is one of the things you and I like a little bit more about sports than maybe everybody, or than some people even in this job. But team building is really interesting to us. Both of us really like the team building aspect of it. And it's this funny thing with Luka, you can't afford to waste him by not having an archetype like Walker Kessler behind him. So as a result, you're almost forced to overpay for that archetype. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's worth whatever you pay for him. You understand what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
You have to have Derek Lively.
Well,
did you need to draft Derek Lively 10th overall to have him?
I know exactly what you're saying. I will add to this, and Joel alluded to this a little bit when evaluating Walker Kessler's game. He's not necessarily the fit for Luka historically, because he's not a roller, or he has not been. He has not been with the Jazz. That has not been. Derek Lively, and Joel said it, was really good at rolling to the hoop and catching lobs. That's not Walker Kessler's game. Now, he's good at standing behind bad defenders and cleaning up messes, so that's a fit.
And he will catch some lobs, but he's not the best lob catcher in the league.
That's not really. He doesn't even really fit the prototype, and they still overpaid just to have, because Luka has to have a center. And DeAndre Ayton was not that center.
And we've seen this reverse engineered as well, and teams overpay in a sense, though I don't think it was a terrible trade. But the Timberwolves got Rudy Gobert and realized we need somebody who can throw him a lob, so we got to go get Mike Conley. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was the exact inverse of what the Lakers have to do is we have to go get a lob threat for Luka. The Timberwolves said we have to get somebody to throw lobs to Rudy, otherwise Rudy is worthless offensively. So you end up overpaying for these guys who fit this specific role. Now, it does open up other aspects of these players, but you're trying to put Band-Aids on flaws that you have elsewhere.
All right, stay tuned. More next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What you got Wednesday? What's the deal? Jake's got rules, Ben's out to steal. Bozo takes their spinning around. Flush it down, flush it down. Emo skater Ben with a devious grin. Jake rolls his eyes, lets out a sigh within. If rules had feelings, they'd probably cry. Ben's chaos just makes them fly. What you got Wednesday? What's the deal?
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. If you're new to the show, every week Ben and I go head-to-head on 2 5-selection drafts, one sports-related, one not. And then we throw it out on the TalkSnap Pro vote. We didn't do it last week. Do we want to go back the week before, or should we just split it?
The week before, I think Ben was in New York, so I filled in for that one.
Okay.
Or maybe...
Did these get posted?
No.
All right, here's the thing.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. No, let's just restart.
You get the number 1 pick in one of the drafts. Which one do you want?
Christian, you pick.
Let's give Ben number 1 in the sports one.
Okay.
All right, and so I get number 1 in not sports.
Okay.
I'm kind of stoked about that. I'd probably rather have number 1 in not sports. All right, what is our sports-related topic today?
Sports draft today. Best boring athletes.
Maybe not even best boring athletes, just
select boring
the
athletes.
most boring athletes. Who are the most boring athletes of all time? And off the air, when we were discussing this, you brought up the name, which I think is the obvious number 1 overall pick. He's as exciting as a box of carpet samples. He is my favorite player of all time, and that's Tim Duncan.
Super boring.
But boring.
His game was boring. His personality is boring.
Here's how you know he's boring, is if you go back and watch his highlights, everyone says, I guess he's a little more athletic than I thought. But it's because his game was so boring, it's not littered with great highlights historically.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys who are much better for a 4-minute YouTube highlight package than Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan is a couple of missed free throws by either Kawhi Leonard or Manu Ginobili from matching Jordan of 6 titles and 6 trips to the finals. Like, he is very close to being in the conversation for one of the greatest of all time. But man, he's a snoozer.
Huge snoozer.
Huge snoozer.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm going a different direction than I thought I would because I'm hoping maybe somebody will be around later. I'm going to go with Mike Trout.
I have him on my board.
Super boring. Plays for a boring team. You know, I mean, he's amazing. He's a lot like Tim Duncan. His game is just unreal. Like the true 5-tool player. Best player in Major League Baseball for at least a stretch of his career. Super boring. Nobody cares.
I think it's controversial to say that, and it's even come up in the NBA in recent years, that leagues, especially locally or in our country, really celebrate American-born players. The NBA has a influx of international players that have taken over the league, and it's become this point of like, who's going to be the next great American-born player? Is it Anthony Edwards or whatever it is? Major League Baseball has a huge influx of South Americans, Central Americans, et cetera, Japanese now that have really taken over. Like, the great American player seems like it would be so easy to sell. The way Shohei is so easy to sell. Nobody cares about Mike Trout. No, he's in Los Angeles, Anaheim, but nobody cares about him because he is so boring.
So boring.
But he rules as a baseball player. But he's just not that exciting.
Mike Trout.
I think it's a good pick. I'll go with Russell Wilson. That dude is a snoozer.
He's dating a rock star.
I don't know if that's true.
Married
I don't know
to
who
a rock
she
star?
is. Whatever.
All right.
Russell Wilson's so boring.
I didn't even think of Rusty in this one. All right.
He should be cooler than he is. Seattle was cool when he was there. He's somehow the second coolest quarterback to win a Super Bowl at Seattle in the last 20 years now.
Okay. I'm going to go with who I was thinking of at number 2 and who actually might be the most boring athlete of all time, but I didn't think you'd take him. Roger Federer. Just dominated tennis.
That's totally fair.
For 15 years.
No controversy.
No controversy. He married his like high school sweetheart, who's honestly kind of like, this sounds so mean, but kind of plain looking. She's not a World Cup wag. She's not a tennis wag. You know what I mean? Just kind of a normal gal. Apparently, she was really good.
Agassi Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she was really good at tennis too, and whatever. Just even when dominating, just rolling people on the tennis court, not even losing a set. It was even boring to watch because he was just so fundamentally good and had zero personality whatsoever. Like Djokovic isn't boring.
No, he's very fiery.
Federer, total snoozer.
Yeah, I was not a Federer fan because I think to me he represented the death of male American tennis. He put so much dirt on great American players that it's never bounced back, truthfully. So I didn't like him, I guess, for a point, or like I had a grudge against him because I loved Agassi. And I didn't like Sampras because Sampras was better than Agassi, but I loved Agassi. And then I was like, oh, at least I can get into the idea of an American winning. And now Americans just don't win in tennis anymore. And Federer started that.
Kind of.
He started that. So it's a good pick. I didn't have him on my list, but it's a great pick. I will go with Kirk Cousins. Because the most exciting thing he's ever done is walk off the field and say, you like that? Which I can't believe we've never used that drop for this, but.
Like that?
You like that? That's his thing. He's famous for that? He's the most boring person on the planet. That the most famous thing he did was point at a camera one time. But he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So, whatever. This doesn't do it for me.
Okay, this is probably in the same vein as Roger Federer, and I'm trying to cast a wide net here.
Okay.
Maybe the best NASCAR driver of all time, Jimmy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was at the same time as Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had tons of personality, and what's his name, the Rainbow Warrior that everybody loved. And Jimmy Johnson just mopped the floor with all of them and was just a dude.
Nobody cared about him.
I mean,
he had fans. Obviously, he had fans. But yeah, like no personality.
My brother, who lives in outside of Aspen, brushes up with a lot of celebrity in that town. He said Jimmy Johnson is the most normalist of normal celebrities he's ever met. Just like like from size to personality to everything, just normal guy.
You like that?
You took Jimmy Johnson.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll go with Eli Manning, who's actually had a more enjoyable post-career as a personality than playing career.
See, I never found him boring. He was always the most entertaining of the Mannings. He was like when they hosted
You
SNL.
thought Eli was better than Peyton?
Interesting.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
like when they hosted SNL, Peyton was terrible.
I think
Eli
there is a
was the one
surprise
with
factor that Eli has a little more pizzazz than he presents.
So I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I didn't
That's fair.
consider Eli.
That's totally fair.
I'm going to go outside the box for my final pick.
Okay.
And maybe this is one that'll give me no votes because I've got to explain it. But I'm going with Emmitt Smith.
Oh, great pick. I don't think you need to explain it all. You're welcome to. But as soon as you said it, I thought that makes total sense.
He wasn't flashy like Barry Sanders.
No, he wasn't particularly fun to watch.
He didn't have on a team full of cocaine addicts that wouldn't shut up. He was just the dude who showed up and played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that flashy Dallas Cowboys team. He was anything but. He was going to get you 4 yards every time he touched the ball.
Yeah.
He was going to make the correct move, pick the right hole.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't Walter Payton stiff-arming people into the fifth row.
No,
He just got it done, boring style, boring guy.
In fact, I can't, like, you say Barry Sanders or whatever, it's flashy running backs. I can think of specific runs. Marshawn Lynch, the earthquake against the Saints, right? Dives backwards into the end zone. I don't know if there's like the Emmitt Smith run, the run.
Yep.
Bo Jackson dragging people into the end zone. You're right. It's 4 yards. It's the right play. Cool. Move the sticks.
And then became the NFL's all-time leading rusher by the end. And right down to kept every touchdown football. Every football he scored a touchdown with, he famously kept it. So he didn't spike or dance or anything.
Yeah,
he just
right.
ran
Just
to
ran back.
the equipment guy and handed him the football.
Yep.
Boring. All right.
Is that it?
Review.
No, you each have one more.
We each have one more.
We
I
each
thought.
have one
that's
more?
4 each.
Oh, okay.
All right. I will go with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, super boring.
Super boring. No, it was funny that he got arrested. The funny thing of him getting arrested is because he's the most boring dude on the planet. That guy got arrested. That's what was funny. But Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler. God, I gotta go one more. What to do, Ben? I thought I was all done. Let's see. All right, out of let's see. I'll go with, I don't even know if this guy is that boring, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I'll go with Dan Marino.
Okay.
Out of an era that had flashy quarterbacks and all that, he was just kind of boring. He went to the Super Bowl his rookie year or his second year?
Early on.
And then never won a dang thing after that. He threw for a ton of yards, and you look at his stats.
May have
and
been
you
the
go,
most talented of the group. Raw talent. May have been the most talented of the group.
But just down in Miami.
Again, kind of the most exciting thing about him is that he was on Ace Ventura.
Right.
Otherwise, not.
Otherwise, kind of a boring guy.
Has some incredible throws. Like, you can go back and watch his highlights. Yeah, you're like, oh, wow, that dude's arm talent was absurd. But you're right. Boring person. Okay. Christian, anyone we forgot? Or you want to recap first?
I'll recap first. Ben, you had the number one pick. You went Tim Duncan, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Eli Manning, Scotty Scheffler. Jake went Mike Trout, Roger Federer, Jimmy Johnson, Emmitt Smith, and Dan Marino. I really like the Kirk Cousins pick.
I never thought of Kurt as that boring.
I had Joe Flacco on my list, boring. Alex Smith, boring.
Alex Smith was kind of boring, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, big time boring. It worked for him. You know what? Quarterback being boring, good thing. Jerry Rice, boring. Jerry Rice could have been a good
we
pick
could have
there.
picked Jerry.
Jerry was
boring.
the Emmitt Smith of receivers. He was more exciting than Emmitt Smith was. Credit to Jerry.
Well, Emmitt Smith was such a counter to the rest of his team because that team wasn't boring at all. But Emmitt was super boring.
Larry Fitzgerald, pretty boring. Superstar.
Yeah.
But pretty boring dude.
That was a good draft. I like that.
Yeah, kind of fun.
All right.
Like that?
What's our not sports related draft?
Not sports today. In honor of the Odyssey, we are going to pick the 10 best Christopher Nolan movies.
Which he hasn't made thousands of movies. Now, are these are movies he directed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have anything he didn't direct.
All right. Is there an obvious number one?
I think there probably is the best vote getter. But it might be the last one I vote. So if you strategically want to hold on to it, you can. It wouldn't be the last one I would vote or draft.
Honestly, it's his most popular movie, probably his best. I think it is the number one, The Dark Knight.
Yeah. That's the one I think is the obvious number one pick, is the one I would not take. But
I like The Dark Knight.
no,
What's
The Dark Knight is fun. I just think
you don't
it got
like what's his name?
so much. I do not love Aaron Eckhart in it. It just got so overblown, I thought. So anyways, whatever. It's good. Dark Knight's great. Heath Ledger's just unbelievable in it. Yeah, it's very good. It's a good pick. This has a very hard number 2. I don't know what the obvious number 2 is here. I will go with, I guess, give me Oppenheimer. I really liked Oppenheimer. I know you haven't seen it. I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect movie by any means. I don't know if Christopher Nolan's made a, quote, perfect movie, but I'll take Oppenheimer.
I will go with my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. However, not as good not as good the second time.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Memento.
Okay.
Guy Pearce.
Christian, have you seen Memento?
No, I'm working my way backwards in the Nolan
chronology. The canon.
Kind of funny you say that because the movie happens
That's exactly
backwards.
how the movie's.
Does it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you know what the
Okay.
movie's about?
Sounds like time travel.
Guy Pearce has no short-term memory.
Okay.
So he has to get everything tattooed or written on
you
his
know what?
body.
I think I might have seen this actually.
To solve his wife's murder, and then the movie happens backwards.
That's pretty sick. I might go watch it.
Good the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you should see it. It's a part of his story, deservedly so. All right, I will go with Inception. I think Inception really works. I think Inception really does hold up, and is one that, after you've seen it once, could lose some of its luster, but I don't think does. I think Inception's really good.
All right, I'm going to go with Dunkirk.
Kind of the Tim Duncan of movies.
It is not.
It's not going to blow your hair back.
It's not the swiftest war movie you've ever seen, but that whole story is really good, and he did a good job with it.
And technically, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the plane scenes are unbelievable. The beach scenes are unbelievable. Yeah. But it doesn't quite. It's not a drag race. It's a drag. More of a drag than a drag race. Yeah, great. All right, I will go with, this is not going to get me votes, but it is my favorite of the 3, Batman Begins. I really, really love Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul and Christian Bale and kind of his genesis. I like his origin story more than I like The Dark Knight.
And you liked Tom Cruise's ex.
I did. Katie Holmes more than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Switched out the casting there.
Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul. I really enjoy the movie. It like moves well for me. I think the pacing's really good. So.
All right, I'm excited. I'm still getting this. Robin Williams as a bad guy? Yes, please. Insomnia.
This is a good movie.
It was a great movie, he was good in it.
I like this more than Memento.
Insomnia?
Yes.
Okay.
I like Insomnia more.
Sure.
Christian, do you know what Insomnia is about?
No, I haven't seen this one
Al
either.
Pacino is in Alaska.
Yeah.
So it's during the Arctic hours. So the
sun doesn't go down.
The sun doesn't go down. So Al Pacino is chasing a serial killer and can't sleep because the sun never goes down. So he is wondering, am I losing my mind because I'm sleep deprived? Am I losing my mind because there's a serial killer? And it really works. I think it really does work. Good pick.
I'll strap Dalton down. We'll watch it.
He'll like it. Good first memory. All right, I'll go with Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar, big. I think I've only seen it twice. I've been meaning to rewatch it again for a long time. It's kind of an investment time-wise.
I'm really surprised it lasted this
emotionally.
long.
Interstellar is really good. It has some people who really are not fans of it, but I did really, really like it. Timothy Chalamet is the kid in it. People don't really think about it as a Chalamet movie.
I haven't seen it, nor have I seen my next pick.
Nice. You didn't have to say that.
But
I'm pretend.
I'm going to go with Tenet. I know very little
that
about
movie
it.
Sucked. Yeah, you shouldn't have picked that one.
Well, I recognize the name.
Tenet. The word is what do they call it? Not onomatopoeia. What is it when it's the same front as backwards? I'm the English major here.
Yeah, right.
I've got a brain problem right now. Christian, look it up. But that's why, because the movie is about the ability to
palindrome.
Oh yeah,
Thank
Locke
you.
talks about that all the time.
It's a palindrome.
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Correct. the ability to manipulate time. But I've watched Tenet 3 times, and I don't know what Tenet's about, and that's a problem.
Well, I wasn't going to pick The Dark Knight Rises, so there you go.
Okay. Are we done? Do I have one more?
You have the last pick.
I guess I won't take The Dark Knight Rises either. You know what movie I don't like, but people are going to get mad at me if I don't take it, is The Prestige. I don't think The Prestige works particularly well. It's about 2 competing magicians. It has Wolverine in it, Hugh Jackman, and it has Christian Bale in it. And it's just okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it sucks.
You've not seen it?
No.
Oh, it is. It's 2 competing magicians, I believe at the turn of the century. And David Bowie is in it as Tesla. Like like every Christopher Nolan movie, it has some real things that I'm like, wow, I've never seen this before on the screen. That's awesome. And then there's some stuff that I'm like, this is junk. This is not connecting with me at all. So,
review.
Jake, you had the number 1 pick. You went The Dark Knight, Memento, Dunkirk, Insomnia, and Tenet. Ben went Oppenheimer, Inception, Batman Begins, Interstellar, and The Prestige.
I'm surprised I got Interstellar as late as I have. But Jake hasn't seen it, so that makes sense.
Jake, you should watch it. I'll watch some of the movie. I'll watch all 7 of the movies on my list that you have assigned me. If
Watch
you watch
Insomnia.
Interstellar.
Watch Insomnia. That's really enjoyable.
We've only asked you to watch one movie. We've asked you to put the rest on hold until you see one particular movie. What's Interstellar about? Aliens?
No,
Would you believe it's about time travel?
The Earth is dying, so he needs to go find a new habitable planet.
But he has to leave on a spaceship, and he has to leave his kids behind, and because he's traveling at the speed of time, he is aging differently than his kids are. And it is very much about like what are you willing to sacrifice for humanity versus your own life.
And the ping pong guy's in it?
As a kid, it's like his
kid.
first big role. He's a very minor character.
Yeah. Is it Jessica Chastain? Who's the woman in it?
Yes.
Plays his daughter grown up.
Right.
Wasn't she Carla in Cheers?
Was Jessica Chastain Carla in Cheers? I don't think so.
No.
Anne Hathaway's in it.
Anne Hathaway's in it. Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey's the lead.
The Princess Diaries gal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt Damon.
Kind of plays a bad guy.
I thought he was in a movie called Martian.
I just watched a clip today about how he almost turned down The Martian because he did Interstellar first, and it's a similar thing.
Man, these washed-up actors just make the same crappy movie over and over again, don't they?
Well, I'm excited to see The Odyssey this weekend.
Isn't he in it?
He's the star.
Oh. Okay. The Ford vs. Ferrari guy?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's a movie I liked.
Okay.
And it has Christian Bale in it.
And it has, Matt Damon, as you were just talking about, the Ford vs. Ferrari guy.
Yeah.
It is fun. Yeah, that's a fun movie.
All right. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up next. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Reason people go to the zoo. This is another edition of the Audio Vault with Jake and Ben. Jake and Ben on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the Audio Vault, the best sound of the day. Today we go to the world of hockey and sports radio. Steve Yzerman has abruptly stepped down as the GM of the Detroit Red Wings. Well, a listener had a theory as to why he stepped down and called in to 97.1 The Ticket with that theory. Mm-hmm. You ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Tim is next on 97.1. Hello, Tim.
There was a clip a few years back on TNT where they were interviewing Yzerman in between periods, and he basically said, without saying, he smokes a nice one, every once in a while to relax. Do you think maybe he was on Devil's Lettuce a little too much? He was a little too passive, perhaps.
What? What, think that they're high?
Do you think that was a factor?
No. What? Do we think that Steve Yzerman struggled because he's a pothead? Is that what you just asked us? No. No, I don't. And did he admit that? No, I feel like if he admitted that, are you on the Devil's Lettuce? Are you? the pothead. What?
All right. Well, there's that.
Well, there's that.
I do miss phone calls sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm glad we still have the voicemail.
Sadly, the term "the devil's lettuce" is one that will go away in our lifetime.
Well, I haven't heard it in a long time.
Correct. Yeah, right. I had basically forgotten about it entirely. There's a chance if this guy didn't call into, what is it, the ticket? What did you say?
97.1.
The ticket in Detroit, I may have never heard it again for the rest of my life. Thank goodness for that boomer still being around and still using that term and having reefer madness and being a little afraid of marijuana still, which, yeah, whatever. I'm not endorsing it or not endorsing it, whatever. But
put down the blunt, Steve, and make a trade.
Nobody, I didn't think that was still a fear people had. So I think he smokes too much weed, so he doesn't know how to trade Dylan Larkin. Maybe. Sure. I like the theory.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stoners make bad decisions or no decisions at all. I don't know if they correlate.
I do think a lot of business gets done in smoky rooms, and smoky is a bad word to use right now because I'm talking about cigar smoke over expensive whiskey or scotch or whatever.
Schnapps.
Yeah. 99 apples or whatever. In the back rooms where people are taking care of the good old boys. You know, I do think business does still get done in some of those areas, on the golf course, whatever. So I think there is probably some inebriation sometimes that lubricates how the world moves along. I thought that happened a lot with the Big 12 expansion, actually, 5 or 6, 7 years ago before Utah joined the Big 12. However, I would be surprised if the reason why Detroit's having a hard time trading their star centerman is because Steve Yzerman is taking huge bong rips or something, whatever his ripple is.
Don't bother me. I'm watching cartoons.
Yeah, right. Ren and Stimpy's on.
Got my Fritos.
Yeah.
Hold on my calls for like an hour.
A nice one, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a theory, though.
I do like that clearly that person has never seen marijuana in his life, the guy who called in. No one who's ever seen it or smoked it would call it a nice one. I know you don't know what you're talking about, which is fine. Good for you. You don't smoke. I would probably say don't, but I definitely say don't. But I do like the idea of somebody who has no idea what they're talking about, blaming the inability to trade a star player on Steve Yzerman, maybe at one point on an interview saying, yeah, I've partaken in medicinal marijuana.
Yeah, we have no idea if he actually said that.
He never said it. The reaction of the host, though, by the way, A+. That's good. That's good radio stuff. That's good hosting.
A lot of awkwardness.
That's the type of reaction you want from your radio host.
If you are the GM of the Red Wings, I probably wouldn't talk about my marijuana use in the same way that do you really want the GM of your favorite team being like, oh, I'm drunk like half the day?
If we take artists off the table, and I don't mean painters specifically, I mean musicians, performers, actors, Seth Rogen, off the comedians, off out of the conversation. Who's the most successful marijuana smoker of all time? Like Don Nelson?
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was smoking while coaching, though.
I suspect he was, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe
was
a different era.
It was a different era. Maybe that was post-career Don. He found that part of his life. Probably wouldn't be the first one, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know if there's like famous potheads who the joke is they're not Cheech and Chong.
No.
They're famous because they're potheads. There's not a lot of people who are like, yeah, he's very famous. Did you also know he's a pothead? Like, we seem to know that like about people of certain religions. It's like, he's also a Scientologist. It's like, you get to be a Scientologist if you want to. Or he was a huge alcoholic. That was his thing. We don't really say that about people who smoke.
No, it was a little more taboo back in the day.
Sure, absolutely, exactly right. Yeah, it was.
You found the TNT clip?
So the caller referenced an interview with TNT where he hints at it. Okay. And so I did some digging on Reddit, and this is the clip Yzerman talking with the TNT guys.
In your mind, what do you do in order to decompress when you get away from the rink and maybe enjoy yourself?
I can't be honest with that one.
So that's the hint.
That could have been anything.
That could have been anything.
That could have been anything. Now I'm a little worried that he's on PCP, actually, not weed.
Or, it's like you should follow his car at night to figure out,
Right.
is he the Zodiac killer?
Yeah, is he Banksy?
Yeah, right. You wouldn't believe this. World famous tagging artist. Banksy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't infer.
I love that interview, which is so benign, stuck with that caller forever. The first time Yzerman kind of had he hasn't done a good job as the GM or whatever he is of the Red Wings. They are kind of a disgrace right now of the NHL. But I love the idea that comment stuck with the listener or a Red Wings fan for so long that he could not wait to call up the ticket.
I had to tell him.
I heard he kind of alluded one time to maybe not being able to say what he does to relax off the ice, which could be truly any number of things.
Could be loitering.
You could be loitering for all we know.
Yeah, man. The worst kind.
Tanner Mangum, do you remember what his thing was off the floor or off the field? He wrote poetry. He may not want to tell you that right away. Well, good for Tanner. There's a lot of ways to relax. But no one's going to blame Tanner Mangum for his future failures because he writes poetry. I'm rooting for him, in fact.
That was funny. Good audio vault
Devil's
today.
lettuce.
All right, more next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's doing it big,
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yeah, we're a little late, Christian. It's all right.
Doesn't matter.
Jake and Ben.
It was worth it.
Time for Live at 5:15. Brought to you by our friends at Trajan Wealth.
What you got Wednesday, 4:30?
Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 1-855-TRAJAN-1, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. What is the biggest story, would you say, today, Ben? It's famously the dry time in sports. We talked about that yesterday, how everything is just dry and dusty. I guess the World Cup is the biggest story of the day?
Probably.
Argentina beats England?
Argentina setting themselves up to have an opportunity, if they can beat Spain on Sunday, to repeat, which would be incredible, and yes, would probably solidify Messi as maybe the greatest soccer player of all time. He's in the conversation, certainly, and if he wins his last two World Cups, assuming he doesn't play in the World Cup 4 years from now, I think that would be a great way to go out on top. I don't think he's going to go back and play high-level European soccer to finish his career. Maybe he does.
I asked you this off the air, but you think it was a strategy to come to Major League Soccer to conserve his last bit of aura for the World Cup?
Do you remember when Roger Clemens signed, was it with the Yankees or was it his last stop with the Astros? And he no longer had to travel with the team.
It was the Yankees, yeah.
They were like, you just show up for your games and you're otherwise not a member of the team, and that's great with us.
Uh-huh.
Specifically to preserve his life, whatever he wanted to do. He's like, I don't want to be around guys all the time. That was a strategy. The same way I suspect this with Messi was, I'll just go play in Miami a little bit. Beautiful people all around. It's not that hard. It's the MLS. It's not. You don't have to play that hard.
Don't have to give it my all.
Looks like he's playing at about 60% speed every time you watch him in the MLS. And everyone's still so happy to see him. And he's never going to get criticized for anything.
He's getting paid a lot of money.
He owns a third of Adidas and MLS now, I think. Great move. Yeah, and yes, pure strategy to set himself up to be healthy for the World Cup.
I don't remember what league he was in before he came here, but instead of slugging it out in La Liga, he's moonwalking his way through Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Because, and this is why they're moving Major League Soccer's calendar, which I still don't think is a good idea. But this is the off season for all those big league players. So think of how many NBA players don't want to play in the Olympics because they need to get the rest or whatever. I mean, this is the same concept, except it's the World Cup. So how many of these big time players have been, really working hard in the EPL or whatever, and then don't have enough gas in the tank for the World Cup when it's technically the off season, whereas Lionel has been, vacationing in Miami for 2 years and now really has played well during the World Cup?
Absolutely. Yeah, no question
I wonder
about
if it was a strategy.
And I wonder if it actually might, because we had this debate, maybe a month ago or maybe 3 weeks ago, right before the World Cup started, of will we ever see some of the greatest players in their primes playing in MLS? This could be one of the reasons it happens. If we see it, if you can get a huge cut of the MLS or whatever, Nike, Adidas, whoever wants to give you an enormous contract, and also it gives you a chance to establish yourself as a superstar on the biggest stage, which is the World Cup, maybe that's a slight opening of the door of why we might get, one of these players to come over earlier than we have previously in their careers.
But Messi's doing this at 55, not 25.
Correct.
I don't know if
Correct.
you need the strategy when you're young.
There
I still
doesn't seem to be any momentum towards Mbappe coming over.
I still don't think we're going to see it. Well, not until until Major League Soccer is more competitive.
Yeah.
And
If Yamal, comes over in the next 5 years, he's 18 now, okay, then maybe that changes the conversation. But you're right, until we see it, it's probably silly to assume it will happen.
Now, it didn't turn out necessarily to be true, but did you pay attention to some of the markers that people have been using on how much better U.S. soccer is getting? I heard it a bunch of times. Well, this team doesn't have any MLS players on it.
Oof.
It must be good because it doesn't have MLS players on it.
Yeah.
The previous World Cup teams were full of MLS players. This team doesn't have any
it's
MLS
the literal
players.
exact opposite of the 1992 Dream Team, which was they finally got NBA dudes here. Watch
right.
out, rest of the world, and they beat everyone by 65 points. This one's like, finally, we don't have any of those smelly American.
They don't have any MLS players, so man, they must be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't think any. I don't think Messi in his prime is picking Major League Soccer until it's better. I don't know how that happens, how it becomes better. I think it has become better, but that good? I don't think so. I think it's still a long way off.
And again, I'm not as familiar with the intricacies and minutia of soccer and how much one player by himself makes a difference, though Messi went to Inter Miami and they won the first year, right? Obviously, it really matters to have talent. But the way Victor Wembanyama can by himself become the greatest player on the planet and may win France a gold medal in the Olympics the next time around, can, if out of nowhere, some 15-year-old today who's 19 at the next World Cup and is going to be 23 2 World Cups from now, could be the best player in the world. It's possible. Is that enough to put the USA on the map as a world power in soccer? My guess is no.
No. Let me ask you this, speaking of Wemby, what would you put the chances, 0 to 100, that at age 28 he gives up the NBA and goes back to France to play?
So it's funny you brought this up because I was just thinking this, and I didn't hear Adam Silver's comments today, but they did their big Board of Governors thing, and he talks about kind of all things world of basketball. And one of the big things that's going on right now in the league is they are expanding to NBA Europe. And it's going to be a separate league. It's not like the Jazz aren't going to go play in Spain 3 times this year. But I will be curious if we have players who are happy to stay back in Europe and play there.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, but maybe they will go when they're 28 as opposed to, Messi not going there, coming to the U.S. until he's 35 years old.
The answer with Wemby is 0. He is not giving up on his NBA career at 28 and going back to France. That's never going to happen. It's the same in soccer. If there's a big U.S. player or any big player overseas, are they going to come here in their prime? Absolutely not. French League basketball might be closer to the NBA than Major League Soccer is to the EPL.
But will a European star go back to Europe to play
basketball? No.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think this NBA Europe thing is going to work.
It may not.
Why would it?
Yeah, it may not.
Just because the NBA logo's on it, they're going to all of a sudden upend all these established leagues in Europe? I doubt it.
I do think that is the goal. Crush all these other leagues in Europe, and they are going to have more money and more advertising, and the infrastructure of the NBA should give them a real chance. But I'm far from a guarantee it's going to happen.
Have you heard about the characters that run these leagues?
Right, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're assuming that there's going to be money. The European leagues aren't run how they are because they're leaving billions of dollars on the table. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea, let alone to tempt a player like Wemby to come back during his prime just because the NBA logo's on the league. No.
It is a little bit of a catch-22 for the NBA. Do you want your best players that should be playing in America going and playing in Europe?
Nope.
Do you need them to build the European League to actually be something special? Probably. That's not what you want. if it's always viewed as a minor league, which the MLS, with all due respect, is viewed as a minor league, in the world of soccer, it's viewed as a lesser league. People don't want to play there, unless it's the end of your career and you're just making a celebrity appearance.
Right.
If LeBron can get $25 million as a 47-year-old to go play in Madrid, maybe he'll do it. But you're not getting 24-year-old LeBron at the height of his powers going over there.
Nope.
And the NBA doesn't want that either.
Nope.
As much as they like the idea that, hey, these expansion fees and we can get a cut of what they're making in Europe is good for us and it's going to line our pockets, we're going to make more money by having LeBron play in Salt Lake City twice a year.
The idea of American sports leagues expanding to Europe has been a fantasy for my entire career.
It has.
And it's this obsession with opening up new markets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that. It's a fantasy.
Correct.
I don't think this will work. I don't think the NFL saying, "Oh, but we're getting all these fans to come to Wembley Stadium when the Jaguars play over there." It's not happening. Nobody else likes American football. They're going to go maybe for the anomaly of it, but the idea of expanding to Europe or Asia or whatever for any of these sports leagues, I truly believe is a fantasy.
I'm with you. No, I think the Japanese baseball is great. There are true superstars. Shohei's the best player on the planet. Munetaka Murakami is awesome. Plays for the White Sox. He's unreal how good he is. They couldn't wait to come to the U.S. Yeah, absolutely. Major League Baseball, it's better. It's better than what they have in Japan. More money, better opportunity, better players to play against, higher level competition. So, yes.
But if Major League Baseball said we're creating a league in Japan, it would fail.
It wouldn't shift the powers of Major League Baseball today.
Well, I mean,
it might succeed. They might be able to get a league sustainable, but it's not going to take a bite out of Major League Baseball.
No, I'm saying there's no way Major League Baseball could supplant the Japanese league. It's all well too entrenched, and just because Major League Baseball's logo was on a league doesn't mean that they all of a sudden would be dominating Japan. The same is true for the NBA in Europe. The same is true for the NFL in Europe.
I don't know. I'm a little maybe I'm just biased towards basketball. That the NBA is so far ahead of all the other basketball leagues in the world. I mean, so is MLB baseball, obviously, over.
But this
Japanese
isn't
leagues.
the NBA. It's a European league with the NBA logo on it.
Sure.
It's not the Jazz going over to play.
No, it's not.
Maybe if it were the Jazz going over to play, maybe we would have a different story. It is not. It's when we took Sadie to Wheel of Fortune when it came through.
Mm-hmm.
It was the live action Wheel of Fortune that we watched at the Eccles Center. It wasn't Pat Sajak.
Correct. It wasn't Vanna
It wasn't
and Sajak.
Vanna White.
Right.
The wheel looked similar.
Uh-huh.
And there was some other guy.
Some of the
that
colors were the same.
There was an announcer kind of guy. And the game was...
No Jamil.
No Jamil.
But you're right.
But what it was a traveling show with the Wheel of Fortune logo on it.
Right.
It was not Wheel of
It was
Fortune.
not Wheel of Fortune. No, you're right. I think you're totally right.
All right. Well, hey, that was an interesting segment, considering
We
that
can
there's
every
nothing,
once in a while, once
nothing
every 2
going
or
on.
3 months, you and I pull some now.
All right, stay tuned. I mean, if people are dying to know, Phoenix is leading Detroit in Vegas 68-66.
Ooh,
A
how's Rasheed
real
Fleming playing?
Real thriller.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. More next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Ben, did you see that Adam Silver said he hopes to have the Kawhi Leonard situation wrapped up before the season starts?
Yeah, Adam.
What's your hurry, bro?
That's a hell of an idea. I agree with you. You should have it wrapped up before the next 3 months. Agreed, Adam.
Well, they've put this trade on hold. I mean, what are they going to... They just going to keep Kawhi on ice as a Clipper until they decide to do something?
Well, when you are... when you've been a member of the living dead for 380 years or however long,
Yeah, you're not in
whenever
a hurry.
Adam Silver was converted into a vampire and time no longer matters for him, he may not feel the urgency
like,
the rest of us
whatever.
do.
Who cares?
Oh, another 200 years. Who cares? Yeah. Whatever.
But what? Let me ask you this: what is the punishment going to be? I wonder, because now that I think that they actually are serious about punishing this situation, maybe it's gotten too much attention or whatever. But I think their behavior would be different if they were just trying to Tim Donaghy this thing and make it go away.
Okay, so what's a punishment? I mean, I know the definition of a punishment, but what is voiding Kawhi Leonard's contract a punishment?
No, it's not.
Because he's just going to resign somewhere else.
In
so
fact,
you have to void him and then suspend him.
He was already negotiating with Toronto before they put the brakes on the thing. I think it'll be games if they come after Kawhi. I think
And
it'll
then
be games.
he's not getting game checks, and okay, that's a fine.
He likes missing games. They're going to force him to play games. You have to play
you
all
have to
82.
play.
He likes getting paid for missing games.
He does. You're right.
If you suspend him 40 games, he's not
going to be happy about it, and he
No.
will be healthy those last 40 games because he's not going to miss a game check.
He'll have forfeited if they suspend him 40 games. That's half his salary.
Yeah, it's a ton of money.
So that punishment does have some teeth to it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be curious if they do it.
I'm more curious on the Clippers side of things. I honestly, they could slap Kawhi on the wrist and it wouldn't make that big of a difference to me. I'm curious because the true power, speak truth to power, Ben. The true power in this is the world's richest sports owner, Steve Ballmer,
Mm-hmm.
and how far the NBA is willing to go to punish somebody with that much power. That has been the crux of this from the beginning. How upset are other owners that this owner broke the rules, that they're willing to go after an owner who has a significant amount of not only money, but leverage and power.
And I think is relatively well liked.
Like you can, I have no idea. I don't know how that guy's got a personality only a mother could love. I don't know how well liked that dude is or what it matters. But if they suspend him for 2 years, I don't think they'll make him Donald Sterling sell the team. I don't think that's in the
they
cards.
won't. No, that's the
But
thing.
do you remember when George Steinbrenner was suspended from Major League Baseball for, I think it was at least 2 years. Marge Schott was suspended from Major League Baseball for multiple years.
Cincinnati?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She was a real piece of work.
Yeah, she was.
She deserved that suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Would they suspend Steve Ballmer for 2 years? Now, or 2 years, whatever amount of time. I kind of think those are fake punishments because what are you suspending him? I
Can you watch the games?
Yeah, he can't make
the
a
building-
phone call to Larry Frank and
Right.
tell him what to do. I mean, I think technically you're not supposed to do that, but what does that really mean? I mean, but
As they go into a rebuild anyways?
that would be a pretty historic punishment from the NBA.
So Adam Silver's done a lot really poorly. He's done a couple of things really well. What he's done poorly is basically everything he's done that actually involves the basketball itself. And what he's done really well is everything that comes with lining the pockets of everybody who works in the NBA. Players are richer, owners are richer, TV's really benefited the league. He's made it a very stable league financially. He's a good businessman. So from that perspective, I don't know if he wants to anger the richest person in their business. So he may just end up with a slap on the wrist for Ballmer because he may not want to anger the business side of it because that's actually where he's the one area where he's really succeeded. Franchises are worth twice, 3, 4 times what they were when he started.
Partly because Ballmer paid so much for the Clippers.
Partly
in the first
because of
place.
it,
Yeah.
But because he's willing to do those things as opposed to, hey, I just think this is what's good for the league and this is what the fans want. He's not a particularly good commissioner for fans. He's a very good commissioner for owners.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, all that is why I thought that they would just sweep it under the rug. I thought they'd do as little as possible. This law firm would just find whatever they want to find, and then everybody moves on with their life.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I thought they'd let the Kawhi trade go through, because that makes it really easy to turn the page.
My conspiracy was that Friday they were going to have a news dump that, oh, yeah, we wrapped it up and everything was fine. That didn't happen. I was wrong on that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It was right before the 4th of July. I thought they were going to be like, this is convenient.
The other owners must be really lighting a fire under Adam Silver to do something
they
about
might
it.
be. They might be.
Which honestly they should. Because he does have more resources to do this sort of thing than other owners do.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some just regular rich people that are still owners in the NBA. I know everybody thinks they're these zillionaires and they're conglomerates and all this stuff, which a lot are, but there are the still like, I don't know, what's the guy in Miami, Mickey Arisons of the world that aren't necessarily Elon Musk. They're not in the poorhouse.
Correct.
But the guardrails help them because they can't tamper as much as others. And maybe I'm picking on Mickey, but there are other examples.
Tom Dundon.
El Cheapo.
El Cheapo. He's not a super trillionaire. He's richer than everybody we know, but he's not He's not Ballmer rich.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
So I wonder if those owners truly are bent out of shape that the Clippers would cheat.
Yeah, they could be.
Because that's what would motivate Adam Silver.
I mean, that's who Adam works for. Adam does work for the other owners.
I will give Adam credit. He learned from the Donald Sterling situation. He should have never forced Donald out. He should have just let it collapse on itself, because he set a weird precedent forcing out owners, which actually has not really bit him. They should have just let the world turn on Donald Sterling and have him sell it.
Correct.
And leave in disgrace. And the reason I say he learned from that, because that's exactly what he did to Robert Sarver. And that was a much less sticky situation from a PR standpoint.
The argument for market pressure, free market pressure versus
some internal pressure too, I'm sure,
but
not
of course.
But not coming out and saying we're going to force you and we're going to do it legally
Through
if we
bureaucracy.
have to.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Just let it collapse on itself. I mean, Sterling was going to have to sell the team no matter what. I mean, the way things turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to have any players left.
Correct.
He wasn't going to have anything.
It was going to become obvious that he needed to sell.
And Robert Sarver, that's what happened. It deteriorated so badly that he had no other choice but to sell. Right. And then the NBA didn't have to deal with the huge PR controversy of it all. They just said, oh, yeah, a bad guy is gone.
Yep.
And now we've got another mortgage guy owning a team.
Correct.
Who hates Dan Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
They both hate each other.
Yep.
Which I love that stuff. All right, we've got voicemails coming up next. Stay tuned. We can keep you updated on this Phoenix. I already forgot who they're playing.
Pistons?
Detroit
Yeah.
matchup that I know everybody's just thrilled to keep up with. We'll get to that next. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got him Matrix and also loves his tie guy. Ben's got style with his scarf. Oh my.
This is for the Jake and Ben show. My name's Frazier. I'm a longtime absorber, first-time voicemailer. I listen almost every day while I'm driving at work, so I've had a lot of time to perfect my realization on how Jake describes movies. Here is my attempt at an impression of Jake describing any movie ever. Jake, have you seen The Shawshank Redemption? It might be one of the greatest movies ever made. Is that terrible movie with the bozo who's friends with the guy with the voice in prison? Yeah, it's terrible. Have you ever seen it? No, I just know it's terrible.
Oh, Frazier! That's really funny.
You're right on.
You're right on.
It's
Thank you.
such an honor to have been on the air long enough that people have learned that, because that's pretty niche.
It is pretty niche.
But for Frazier to recognize that formula from our show, which is dead on.
Terrible.
It's terrible, yeah. It's really well done.
That's really funny. Thank you, Frazier.
Shout out Frazier.
Long-time absorber, first-time voicemailer. Voicemail again, Frazier. That was really funny.
Very good.
I haven't seen it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I know the people in it.
I do like the random connection game, though, where you pick
6 degrees or whatever of Kevin Bacon.
a really random role.
But you do it with everybody. With movies nobody's ever seen, usually involved with Major League 2. Back to the Minors or whatever it's called.
That was 3.
That was 3 with the Salt Lake Bees.
No,
or
2
Buzz
was
or-
the one where Omar Epps was the Willie Mays. Hayes.
Okay.
They just swapped out Wesley Snipes for Omar Epps.
But yeah, that's it's not even a bit. I wish I could say it was a bit because Jake's not lying about it. A bit would imply that Jake is performing something.
Yeah, right.
This is authentic.
It's genuine. Yeah. Do you, speaking of Major League, you know the scene where Wesley Snipes makes the team because he wakes up in his bed and it's outside the facility and they're running and he starts running and catches up to him and then beats him and they go, oh, we got to sign this guy. It's in slow motion. The running parts, they make it in slow motion. I read a thing. You know why they did that? Apparently, Wesley Snipes is crazy slow.
Oh, okay.
Like he is not fleet of foot. And so the other guys who are running kind of have to slow it up.
It would look
And
obvious.
It did not
in
look
regular motion.
It did not look real in regular motion, so
man.
they had to put it in slow motion.
That's good filmmaking. That's like solving a problem. We have the right actor. He's not doing the right things. How do we fix it? That's smart. Yeah. I like that stuff.
You didn't like swapping out Tom Cruise's ex for Jake's sister.
Correct.
In the
Katie Holmes for Maggie Gyllenhaal.
The Batman movies. Listen, I saw, what's the football movie Omar Epps is in? The one about Florida State. He's pretty good at the program.
Yeah, which I've never seen.
He's in that movie with the dude from A River Runs Through It, the not Brad Pitt one. Anyway, he's not bad in that movie, but he was really bad as Willie Mays Hayes.
Couldn't handle it.
It was just Wesley Snipes kind of made that his own.
It's also funny that Wesley Snipes was like the go-to 90s athlete getting cast in movies.
And he was really good in Major League.
He pulls it off, and he's good in White Men Can't Jump.
And they pull but I would say Willie Mays Hayes was one of the more intriguing characters of that movie. Swap out Gyllenhaal for Holmes for Gyllenhaal. Who cares? That character doesn't even matter. Willie Mays Hayes was like, he and Charlie Sheen were the best characters in that movie by a mile.
Right. You can't swap out Tom Cruise in Top Gun and think you're getting the same movie.
To bring in Matt Damon. They're like, oh, it's the same guy.
It's like, it's the same character. People will believe it.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I was saying.
No, you got to have Cruise. Yeah, you got to have Snipes.
If they moved Rob Lowe in for Charlie Sheen, it would have been horrible.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who hosts The Floor. Rob Lowe. Yeah. All right.
I think you're right on.
So, no offense to Omar Epps, but you sucked as Willie Mays Hayes.
Okay.
And Wesley Snipes, very slow. We should do Wesley Snipes movies.
I've never seen Blade. Have you seen Blade, Christian?
Yeah.
Have you seen Blade 2?
Yeah.
Are good or not good?
1 and 2 are higher regarded than 3. 3 is regarded as like one of the big flops.
Some people love the movie Blade, and I didn't realize it was a comic book movie. It's a
Blade 1 is pretty
vampire
cool,
/ comic book movie.
I had a friend who made me watch Blade.
Okay.
It sucks.
You be doing the bit?
Coming
Doing the
from
thing?
No, it's terrible.
The guy from Major
No,
League.
there is a scene, I think it's in Blade 2.
Is that
Wesley
really-
Snipes.
That stinks. Have you ever
Speaking
seen
of
it?
your guy,
No,
Wesley.
I've never seen it. It's terrible.
Wesley wouldn't open his eyes for this scene. I don't know why. So they had to CGI his eyes open.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Again,
he refused to
good
open his eyes in the
filmmaking.
movie.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, my buddy was like, you've got to watch
Gotta watch Blade.
You know what other movie that I thought was terrible that my friend made me watch? And people will be mad at me because people love this movie, but it just wasn't me. Escape from L.A.?
I was talking about that movie last night. Well, I was talking about Escape from New York, but same thing.
Both with
Russell.
Captain Ron?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Anyway, it made me watch that movie. I was like, this is just cinema masterpiece. I watched the whole thing. I thought, what are you talking about?
This? You did the bit again for the third time in a segment talking about the bit. You brought up the crappy movie Captain Ron.
Made the reference to Captain
Compared
Ron?
it to another movie that's very highly regarded. It's amazing. Well done, Frazier. Yeah. MVP of the show.
What? MVO.
MVV. Most valuable voicemailer.
I was going to say most valuable absorber.
Oh, okay. I think absorb starts with an A, though.
Oh, it does. Don't tell my kids.
Yeah.
Don't tell my kids. Because I tried to tell Sadie, I was like, you got to learn to spell.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how to spell. MVA. That's even better. Shout out to Frazier.
Thanks,
All right.
Frazier.
More next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.